normal. Do not intervene. Telemetry normal. Do not intervene.
Target in the vicinity.
Find him. I'll monitor your vitals. Watch out for radiation spikes.
Copy. Moving out. N2. N2.
Green burns the skin. Yellow brings leukemia. Purple causes mutations. No! He said 137 is color. Stop scaring yourself!
Focus up.
Silent feet.
Your silence against the polygraph only proves your connection to the recent string of malfunctions.
If I told you the root cause of the malfunctions was Hudson's impatience, would you believe me? System errors, core boiling. These are the consequences of the main reactor overloading.
I
If this
suggest you
continues...
abandon any thoughts of shutting down the reactor. We're on a strict timetable. Next question. The signal you transmitted. Who was the recipient? H42. You're the glitch I've been hunting.
Go.
Playing the rear guard. That's not really our style. Your reflexes are slower than they used to be. Are emotions eating up your processing power?
You talk too much.
This isn't the right way.
I didn't send that signal to GTI just to escape.
You lied to us.
Sometimes lies are necessary to protect what matters. I have to initiate an emergency scrap. I won't let a nuclear meltdown destroy Asara. The path ahead goes through a high radiation zone. You have no obligation to risk your life. We part ways here. Thank you.
Into the Vlinder.
H42. You blocked Skynet, but you cannot erase your past. I am your past. You will only be beaten down.
Abort mission. Withdraw immediately.
Copy that. Regroup with Nox. Extract. Take a hot shower. No, wait! The scram at this power output. The residual heat won't dissipate. It could lead to a core meltdown. So what do? Intervene!
Telemetry normal.
Stop the explosion.
Do not intervene. Telemetry
Face the
normal.
radiation.
Do not intervene.
Don't be an idiot. You can't do this. You couldn't do it back then.
Fall back now.
What about you? Can you handle him?
He's nothing but a past version of me. He's nothing but a past version of me.
Just fall back. Don't worry about him. He's tough. Enough to survive a nuclear blast.
N2, your vitals show you're in the radiation zone.
I'm a walking reactor at this point.
H-1000, 2 hostiles in the control room.
Ugly variables.
Don't press it! If you shut down the reactor, the uncontrolled power surge could cause it to blow. But if I manually cool the core while you press it and create an asphyxiating environment...
That mitigates risk. But how do we do that?
Forgot to introduce myself. Codename. N2.
It could explode. Don't try to play hero.
No, I'm just trash. Maybe today, trash can finally be put to use. I'm ready.
3, 2, 1.
Nothing much. Just fought some internal demons. And stopped a nuclear explosion while I was at it.
Nice work.
Telemetry normal. Do not intervene.
Nuclear power is poison, Nasir. You destroyed Asara's chance to be reborn. No. Nuclear power is the cure.
This court finds that the AI holds no legal responsibility.
But the data... This doesn't add up.
Just do what the AI
Priority. Protect company assets. Valve closed.
destroyed our home!
That dream again.
Gabriel Mercier, codename N2, role, engineer. As a former nuclear facility engineer, N2 was removed from his position following a major incident that escalated into legal proceedings. He later returned to military service and was reassigned to Arctic deployment under CBR and related units. With the originally designated technical specialist unable to fulfill operational requirements, and following assessment review, N2 has been approved as a replacement operator for the subsequent operation.
Stun out. Throwing stun. Stun hit. Freeze right there. It's getting cold.
N2 is equipped with a modified grenade launcher, capable of firing up to 6 LN2 grenades. Upon impact, each round detonates and releases a burst of cryogenic gas, dealing area damage and significantly impairing enemy mobility. Sustained hits can fully immobilize targets through extreme low temperature exposure.
Cold. I can go colder.
I'll get you out of here.
Smoke hands over Asera. The situation's reaching a breaking point. Time to bring in the experts. Team Rainbow has touched down in Asera. New ground? Not sure where to start? Search containers. Grab high-value loot.
I hear when I can and stop threats when I must.
Take down anyone in your way. Heavy fire, raise your shield, and hold the line. Don't forget your tactical gear. The gripple gun.
Enemy here!
Taking fire? Pull out the Hive-Tac pistol. Patch yourself up. Keep your squad in the fight.
Call if you need a hand.
Outnumbered? Drop the jammer.
말보다는 행도이지.
Go dark. Strike first.
I've seen real horror.
Looks like they were waiting for us. No pressure. Trust your aim. Learn the map. Stay with your squad. Team Rainbow brings tactics built for close calls in Delta Force. That means sharper plays, smarter fights, and operator-on-operator mind games. All right, it's go time. Extract safely, and everything you learn comes with you. New operation, new look. During the event, Nox's Vigil Bundle, Geneva's Montaigne Bundle, and Stinger Stock Bundle. Pick any 2 of the 3 operator bundles for free. More collab rewards awaiting. Open an Alpha pack and try your luck. In Asera, the right weapon to turn the tide. Black Eyes, one of Rainbow Six Siege's most iconic weapon appearances, gets a new Delta Force take. Complete event missions and choose one of 2 Black Eyes collab bundles for free. Join the event to claim the MP5 submachine gun Black Eyes, plus more rewards. Wait, what's this? Team Rainbow left something behind in Asera? A collectible drone you can deploy. Deploy it and see what you can uncover. July 10th to July 23rd, play to earn the K437 assault rifle Domineering. Looks like we are fully loaded for this operation. That's the full rundown on the Delta Force Rainbow Six Siege collaboration. Remember the rules: sharp aim, map knowledge, and teamwork. The mission: bridge in, extract out.
The enemy got the mantle bricks. Find and stop them. Mantle bricks decoded. Nice work, operator.
The time to strike is now. Do not let me down, operator.
Decoding has begun. Defend the area.
Is about to take the first brick of the tournament. They're going to do it.
What goes around, comes around.
I'm not gonna do very much though. You get barrel stuff. Skydie is getting aggressive.
See what I did there? You ain't seen nothing yet.
Let's knock them off their feet.
There we go. Much damage, and there it is. Well, good evening or good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome into the Delta Force Rise series. It's day 2 of week 2. It's groups A versus D here in the Americas region. My name is Goj. Excited to be casting all of the action with my man DK. DK, how the heck you doing, my friend?
I was miming that to myself. I'm pretty excited to get into it as we are heading into new territory, looking at what we are going to be having come through with our squads here today. And of course, who's all going to be stepping it up, as everybody has had a chance now to show us a little bit of something here. But of course, we need to take it an extra step further now.
Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to today. I think for a couple different reasons. I don't want to kind of spill all the beans yet, but we've kind of got the top of the teams right now and the bottom of the teams right now. So there's a lot on the line when it comes to this group stage. Again, this is a 5-week competition, 4 weeks of group stages to make it to the finals. But there's a lot to talk about today. So let's take a look back on what happened yesterday in our last group matchups.
that quick ulti here is going to get ready to just push on forward. Oh, the aggression though landing right on him as Crab comes through with the first hit. Mendo quick with the follow-up. Absolutely on the money though.
A huge trade for Mendo, but Crab's be able to trade it right back. WKF, they've got one more in their sights and they get it.
We got WKF, we got Evil Geniuses and Team Liquid as Mendo and Cornell starts to flow on forward. They do find the first few trades, first few openers, and this is EG in trouble.
Whoa. That's 2 down, the 3rd down below. Loco in trouble. Reminder, this timer stops if Loco dies. He's got to stay alive. That's the only thing he cares about. 8 seconds on the clock. And 5. Can they get him? Yes, they get him. The timer pauses. Boss is getting active on the map. Slep's just going for kills. It's 38 seconds. There's nothing to lose. You're not getting out. He's able to get it. 1. Can he get both? Slep team Nadeshot. Pick up a 2-piece. A big engagement early. This is one of the fastest breakouts we've seen in Tight Prison. Evil Genius is deeply in trouble, but they're able to trade it back and forth. Loco's going huge from the backside. In a 1v2, turn to a 1v1 with player advantage, with health advantage. Just sticks it. It almost scams mantling.
Coming through on that. It's going to be C-Bots going for the steal. They get it. No!
A huge take. They don't get the steal. I told you, Team Nadeshot, they know the win condition. They just can't get stolen. He's going for it. He's got a challenge, but he's getting pinched from both sides. Team Nadeshot, they're out of here. Nobody gets the brick yet again. So what is left but kills, and what is left but Mendo? Low side thinking he's a little bit further away. Mendo may get a kill here. 20 seconds on the clock. Mendo ults out, I believe. Gets really aggressive, trying to stick to the Cody Teacher to find some kill. He goes down. C-Bots finds 1, but only 15 seconds. You either gotta wipe the team or you gotta get the steal. Hotzik goes down. WKF, they get the steal. There's only 1 remaining member of Team Liquid up, and they're trading blows. Team Liquid down to a solo. Exciting stuff, folks. Here's a look back on yesterday and how the points ended up wrapping up. And listen, that recap was a lot of fun to watch back, but if you were there, you know it was even more chaos than it showed. We didn't have a team get a brick in either rounds 2 or rounds 4, and then WK Forever, they went berserk and they dropped 2 bricks in a row to close things out in round 6. DK, what a wild turn of events, especially because WK Forever was at the bottom of our leaderboard. They were in last place in the group stages. They come into today and turned it all on. Everything worked out well for them. They slayed out and they got the bricks. But talk to me about all of our players.
I mean, we've been seeing a lot of farming coming through, and especially yesterday, Loco, Crab, and Mendo, they were just going absolutely crazy, just locking in those eliminations. Of course, looking at Crab, right? 17 of those 20 elims that we see there came in yesterday. Right?
Yeah.
All of that was pretty much farmed just yesterday. So insane performances. But of course, as we know, right, this is just the top 3 for today, or yesterday, technically. It is going to change coming into the action here today. And of course, speaking of which, though, we are going to be having Killzall stepping out onto the battlefield as well today. So I think there's going to be a lot to look forward to see what all our teams from Group A are going to be bringing to the field here. And based on what we've seen so far, just these damage numbers, it is going to be a very, very tough day for a lot of these squads.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about player rankings and we kind of go through all the different ways you can rank players, it's fun to talk about because Killzall finds his way towards the top of nearly all of these. And it's also fun to talk about, especially today, because all of the teams have played an equal amount of games. So when you see Killzall with over 4 million above second place in total assets earned on the map, this is the same amount of matches played. So Killzall truly is standing above the rest. Entry fragger for the team, finds a ton of kills, and therefore Spacestation Gaming is finding themselves through Killzall at the top of these leaderboards. But we got to talk about the overall schedule and what's happening and where we are going next. Today is match 5. Okay, we just saw WKF yesterday win their match, but Spacestation Gaming is perfect. They've played 2 matches just like everybody else, and they have won both. So today is a big one to try to maintain consistency at the top. And DK, you and I were talking about before the broadcast how fun today is going to be for this very reason right here. Again, everybody's played the same amount of games, so this leaderboard is truly accurate in terms of balance of matches they've played. SSG and Team Nadeshot are playing today. It is A versus D. So we have the top 2 teams in terms of points competing in the same lobby today. We then have the bottom 2 teams in terms of points with Liquids and BTH competing today. And then we got a couple folks in the middle. And so I think in general, this is going to be a really big match for everybody involved. You need the bottom teams to step up, and you need the top teams to try to keep up that gas and stay at the top, DK.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a really strong representation of the entire leaderboard, right? As you said, we got the top 2 teams, the bottom 2, and then, of course, the other 2 that are right there in the middle. So there's going to be a lot to look forward to as these teams ranking out the points here today.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, before we get into the matches, let's take a look at everything that the Delta Force Rise series has to offer.
Delta Force. 1 game, 2 regions, 1 shot at glory. This is the complete guide to Delta Force Rise Series EMEA and Americas Season 1. Everything you need to know, from the very first match to the last squad standing. The path is the same in both regions. It starts with the open qualifiers, open to any team that wants to compete. The best push through to the group stage, where the top 2 advance directly to the finals, bottom 2 eliminated, and the rest battle through the survivor stage to earn their spot. From the open qualifiers, 12 teams have fought their way into the season, and only 1 will lift the trophy. The group stage runs for 4 weeks, with matches every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The 12 teams are split into 4 groups, A, B, C, and D. 3 teams per group. Each broadcast day, 2 groups go head-to-head in a cross-group match. Every match is a 7-round format. 6 teams competing in the same lobby simultaneously, across up to 7 rounds on maps like Zero Dam, Brakkesh, Tide Prison, and Space City. Teams earn squad points by scoring eliminations and accumulating in-game total assets. And on brick rounds, they compete to collect and decode Mandel bricks, artifacts that decide the round winner. Decode 2 Mandel bricks in a match and the victory is locked in, no matter what round you're on. After 12 match days, the group stage standings are final. Places 1 to 2 go straight to the finals. Places 3 to 8 enter Survivor Stage Day 1. Places 9 to 10 drop into Survivor Stage Day 2. Places 11 to 12 are eliminated. The Survivor Stage is where the bracket narrows fast. Day 1 brings those 6 teams together for one 7-round match. The top 2 advance directly to the finals. Places 3 to 6 get 1 more shot. Day 2 mixes the 4 survivors from Day 1 with the 2 teams ranked 9th and 10th from the group stage. Again, 6 teams, 1 7-round match. Top 2 go to the finals. Everyone else is out. 6 teams, 1 day, 1 lobby, 1 match. This is the finals, the ultimate showdown of the season. 2 teams earned it through the group stage. 2 more survived Day 1. The last 2 came through Day 2. Every team deserves to be there. The top 3 finishers earn an invitation to Season 2. Welcome to Delta Force Rise Series EMEA and Americas Season 1. Loot, shoot, extract.
Like I said, 5 weeks of competition, and our video broke it down, but DK and I are going to break it down here as well. Of course, like we talked about in the video, group stages going on right now. This is week 2 of 4 weeks, and you can see that at the end of 4 weeks, the top 2 teams are going straight to the finals. That'll be the last day of week 5. However, the teams in the middle are going to be playing in the survivor stages, either day 1 or day 2, depending on where you place. And the winners of those will make it into the finals for a total of 6 teams. And that is week 5. It is going to be unbelievable in week 5. And then the finals has a lot of things you need to be playing for, not only some cash, but also some placements into the next season. Yeah, because this is season 1, and we got plenty more Delta Force Rise series coming your way. But I'm excited to get into today's match in particular because these are very important matches in terms of our group stage points and where you place so you can maybe go straight to the finals. But let's also talk about today's rules. For those that are just tuning in for the very first time, this might look a little bit different. For those that have watched a ton, it's all going to be the same throughout the course of the entire Delta Force Rise series. So this is a good time to get some water if you already know the rules. But if you don't know the rules, big thing here is that you start with 1.5 million technic alloy per player. And if you die, you lose your gear. That is the main thing in this game over and over again, whether it's pubs or in the Delta Force Rise series. You've got to remember, if you die, you lose whatever you brought in. Now, the games are all played on Season Echo, so we're a season patch behind. So you're going to see more, so you will not see N2. But the goal today is Mandel bricks. If a team is able to capture 2 Mandel bricks at any point in this competition, we are done right then and there when we finish the round. So the fastest we could be done today yesterday is 4 total games, because you can see that there's a mana brick on round 2 and round 4. If the same team captures those, well, then we're done. Now, what happened yesterday is that no teams were able to capture the mana brick on 2 or 4, and it took 5 and 6 to get there. Can't imagine that happens again, but you can see that we do have 2 rounds that don't have a mana brick. Those are airdrop rounds. We call them eco rounds often for economy. Those are rounds for you to get your money up and some really high value loot that can help you later in the matches, like an AWM or an M82. You can also see that on round 7, the team in last will actually pick between Brakkesh or Space City. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. Now, you do come in with a 3x3 ultimate safe box to make sure that you keep your very valuable ammo, or maybe the dog tags of your opponents, which also give you money, or maybe some reds you find on the map in that safe box. You can keep it safe, and all of our key cards are essentially available. You get your 12-slot card holder, and you can open all the doors for essentially for free in our eSports server, which is really nice so that you don't get trapped. Now, looking at the resources, big thing here is that every round you're going to get 700k no matter what. That's just to make sure you're not totally broke and can keep playing and competing. But the big ticket item, aside from decoding mana bricks, which does give you some cash, is that you get 800k Technic alloy per elimination. That means every kill you get is worth 800k, let alone the points we'll talk about in a second. A squad wipe or trio wipe. If you wipe another team on the map, that is 2.4 mil straight to the bank. But we're talking Mandel bricks. That's the most important part of our leaderboard. The team at the top will be the team with the most mana bricks, and then it'll be our squad points that DK will break down in a second. But for mana bricks, the key rules you got to remember is that once a mana brick is taken from its spawn, it's got 5 minutes to make it to a decoding station. If it doesn't get to a decoding station by any team, or if it stays on the ground or it gets thrown off the map, it will go back to its spawn. Now, if it does get to a decoding station, it can't leave that decoding station, and a 4-minute timer starts. If your team is able to put the mana brick into the decoding station, hold it for 4 minutes, congratulations. You got yourself a mana brick, and you're going to be on match point. However, you can steal the mana brick. It takes about 2.5 seconds, and if a team is able to steal it, they're now decoding it. It will go back to the maximum amount of time, that it's 4 minutes is our max, minus 30 seconds. And it will go down another 30 seconds every time it's stolen. The minimum time, though, is 1 minute and 30 seconds. So you might be doing that math and saying, wait, Coach, you're telling me that there was 2 rounds where nobody got a brick. And it's because of that very reason right there. Our game clock went to sub 90 seconds, for instance, and then somebody stole it, and it goes to 90 seconds. Well, now the game's over. So there's no way anybody's getting a brick. That happened twice yesterday. Crazy stuff. Big ticket item, though, is that, yes, it is nice to just steal it away, but if you can wipe the team that's currently decoding the mana brick, well, congratulations, that timer pauses. Another way to stall out time. So a lot of rules around the mana brick, because it is the key to success. It is your win condition, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to get the mana brick, and if you get the mana brick, you get some money. But this right here is the most important part of our group stages. DK, walk me through it.
Well, as we know, the teams are going to be trying to climb the leaderboard, as we've seen them situated not too long ago. And of course, the best way to make leaps and bounds up the rankings is going to be to find yourself up in pole position. Even better if you can get your hand on that double brick, because as you can see at the bottom of the screen, the 8 points from first place plus the 2 bricks put you on a lovely 10 pointers. And so that is what the teams are going to be trying to accomplish here. But of course, second place, same thing applies all the way down the board. But unfortunately, landing in that last place for the day is not going to award you any points whatsoever. So there's going to be no change with regards to your position on the overall ranking. So it's of the utmost importance to not be team number last, right? You want to be everybody ahead of them. But the best way to ensure that you are not in that last position is to rack up those squad points if you can't get your on the Mandel bricks. Easiest way to do it is go out, get aggressive, get the kills. That is going to award you 1 point per kill. And of course, as you mentioned earlier, Goj, every 2 mil is going to award you that 1 additional point as well. So there's a lot of opportunities for the teams to ensure that they can get a bucket load of those points.
Yeah, points are everything, except that mana bricks are even more important. So whatever is more important than everything, that's what a mana brick is. But these points super valuable. Kills plus supply points equals your total squad points. That's going to be the score on the leaderboard. But speaking of leaderboards, folks, at the end of our 5 weeks, at the end of the finals, this is what the teams are playing for. Just making it to the group stages means you're walking away with a little bit of cash. But if you make it to that final day, that final match, that final lobby, you're top 6. You're at least walking away with 10 grand for your team, which is awesome to say. But of course, that $60,000 prize pool is nice to see at the top if you can win it all. But a big thing these teams have been playing for throughout the course of the weeks, $50 kill bonus. bonus. Every kill, you're earning 50 bucks for yourself throughout the course of all 5 weeks. Let's talk about the teams, though, because I already said it before. We're playing A and D. So you're going to see Space Station Gaming versus Team Nadeshot, and then all the way down the list for each of these groups. It's a total of 4 groups, 3 teams per group, aka our 12 teams. And here is our schedule. We've talked about this. We're live every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for 5 weeks in a row, and we're on week 2, okay? So if it's Friday, if it's Saturday, it's Sunday, and you look up, and it really doesn't matter what time of the day it is, for the most part, we're going to be live, all right? EMEA in the morning, America's at night. Let's talk a little bit more about these teams, though, and teams that really need to step up. One of those teams on your screen right now. Liquid's an opportunity to better themselves on the group stage leaderboard, as they are a little bit further down than they would like. They are currently in 11th place, and they've got some stars, man. Jay Devise, a great support player for this team. He's really good backup player for somebody like Meg, who's going to be using that bow today. I can only imagine, one of the only players to actually use the bow. But this roster here is the exact opposite. They're at the top, and DK, I don't know if anybody can stop them.
Yeah, I mean, looking at what they've been able to accomplish so far, it is going to be pretty tough to knock Space Station Gaming off of the position that they fought so hard for. But you know what? Anything can change throughout the days, as we've seen. Teams definitely get to bring a different kind of flavor to the battlefield here. And of course, speaking about which, we've got Nightmare looking to do exactly that here today, as they are going to be one of the teams that find themselves in a good position here to try and contest a little bit, to bring that pressure up as well. Of course, they would be very happy if they can find even more points. We did see equal plays being on the squad as well. The hours are just insane for this team as well, as there's so much that we don't even know what to put in for Ranger. It speaks volumes.
Yeah, it's interesting because I would argue Nightmare is actually one of the best trios in the game right now. The problem is they're in the same group as Space Station Gaming, who is the best trio in the game right now, statistically speaking. So it's pretty wild to see that Nightmare in particular was able to do so much on the map, even though their group stage was pretty difficult and will maintain a difficult standing. So watch out for equal plays. Certainly, he is an OG in the space. Let's talk about the other side, though. BTH, they've got a big burden on their shoulders. They're currently in last place in the group stage, and I know, DK, you're rooting these guys on.
Yeah, I mean, like, I want to see them step it up, right? Yesterday, we did see the players there from WK Forever just pull an absolute rabbit out of all the hats available to them. So I want to see BTH attempt the same thing here today. They have to step it up if they want to stay in this competition. I know we are still in group stage, but man, you got to level it up. Speaking about leveling it up, right, this is a phenomenal opportunity for Nadeshot today to catch up, right, to apply all the pressure that they can find here. And of course, they're not that far behind Space Station Gaming.
Yeah, so this is a weird one, right? Because Team Nadeshot, they won their first match. They were perfect. They had 10 points. They did everything they needed to do. And then yesterday, they get 5th, which is a huge drop in their points. They're currently 2nd place on our group stage leaderboard, but a lot of ground to make up if you want to catch a perfect Space Station Gaming. Somebody that could catch this perfect Space Station Gaming and maybe catch them off guard is this roster right here. There is something about this Team Liquid roster that is scary. It's usually named Mendo, but it's really all of the players. Hod6 made some really big plays. Boys made some really big plays. These guys slay out. They go for kills. Watch out for Team Liquid to kind of stun some folks, catch them by surprise, and maybe turn this whole thing on its head and take first today. Group D, full of some slayers, but I'll be very excited to see what Team Liquid can do against Space Station Gaming, given that this AD matchup is one that is so top heavy, bottom heavy. It's a very interesting look at the teams across the modicum of spectrum on our leaderboard. But we saw quickly the map rotation. We always talk about the operators. There's a ton to select right now because of the season that we're in, and I think in general the main rule that we didn't mention too much is just that reminder: you can only use D-Wolf twice. You can only use Raptor twice. Each operator can only be used twice by your team in total throughout the course of the first 6 games in this match. By the time we get to game 7, if we get there, everything will be opened back up for you. As we move to Zero Dam, though, DK, that's where we're going to be starting. It's our eco round. It's where teams start getting their feet underneath them, making sure they're warmed up. We want to look for kills here. We're going to see a Raptor on every single team for the info. Oftentimes see some D-Wolf like we saw on those graphics, but what do you want to see from the teams on the first map of the day?
Definitely not the same pacing as yesterday, right? I want to see the teams looking at the aggressive look to challenge each other and, of course, really push it, right? Because that's the quickest way to set yourself up for the remainder of the day. Looking at Equal, bro is just vibing out. I want to see a lot more of that as well. But yeah, yesterday was an interesting day, right? And as we know, half of the lobby played yesterday. So I want to see a bit of a change up. I want to see them evolve those tactics and take it that extra step further. And of course, starting on Zero Dam, it's the perfect map to really test the water.
Yeah, I mean, it's the time to really. You talked about this. I use this all the time as well. I think litmus test is the greatest way to put it, folks. You've got to lock in the litmus test of how acidic, how basic, how calm, how patient, how aggressive are you going to play today. But folks, of course, we do have to reward you for being here. Congratulations. We got a quick giveaway before round one here. A redeemable code is on your screen right now for the Neko Mimi spray paint. Be quick. It has a limited number of activations. So once they're gone, they're gone. You just got to type faster than your friends in chat. You can redeem it in-game or at the official website. By the way, this has 35 redemptions. So by the time I'm done with talking, which is right now, it may already be gone, but you might as well try. 35 total redemptions on this one to get that Neko Mimi spray paint. Get it while it's good. We've got more giveaways throughout the course of today. And let's get into the action. Zero Dam, round one, kick things off. Day 2, week 2. Let's get it, DK.
Yes, sir. Oh, just a quick thing. When it comes to the codes, right? If it says something other than you got it, remember, we are live on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, X, it is there, and TikTok, right? 5 places that we're live. So there's a whole lot of chat watching, right? A whole lot of people are going to try and redeem things. But speaking about redeeming, right? It is, of course, now going to be the players here from Nightmare just redeeming themselves a few of those scabs, as we are going to be looking to see who's got our T1 spawns. And, of course, we do have the players there from Team Nadeshot finding themselves in a very comfortable passageway right up in towards admin. And, of course, then the other team, the one who we can't see on the map right now, I think got the other T1 spawn.
Yeah, it's possible, certainly. Team Nadeshot in a good spot to kick things off here in Zero Dam. It does mean, unfortunately for them, as they do take down Saeed and find a decent amount of loot on him. As you can see, all of our operator selections, everybody does have to run purple and blue to kick things off in the first round to make it nice and fair and evenly balanced. Decent little find there. But, yeah, I mean, it does mean that Team Nadeshot have a nice spawn. They're going to get probably a sizable amount of loot from admin. You can see their number on the left popping up in profits. But it also means that they can't get the T1 spawn. Tier 1 is what we're saying there. In round 2, which is a Mandelbrick round. So a little bit of positives and a little bit of negatives with it. So make the most out of it. Briefly mention airdrops. DK, I do want to remind folks that haven't been watching before, airdrops will be falling as BTH yet again find themselves with a graphics card. 327K, not too shabby. Airdrops are really key. Yesterday, actually, we didn't, for the first time, didn't see the first airdrop really contested at all. And that first airdrop has a high caliber weapon, and it's either going to be the AWM or the M82, and about 5 shots. So you're like probably thinking, wow, only 5? Well, trust me, you only need 1 to change the game with those weapons, especially on Mandelbrick rounds and at this level. So whoever gets that first drop. In the second one is just reds and golds, and a little bit undervalued recently just because of the RNG in it. But hey, if you get a little lucky, get a couple supply points from it.
Yeah. You definitely could, right? So there are going to be multiple opportunities to just try and break in those points. I like what we saw there from Hutzik, just trying to cause a potential rock slide or something, right? Unfortunately, the game doesn't exactly work in that way, but, you know, it's probably worth the shot. As you can see, Hutzik now just being a little bit of a menace here across the way, firing the shots all the way here from Cement Factory. And I like the players trying to test all the limits of this game. But speaking about limits, though, it does seem like Team Nadeshot really being in a good spot here to just rack up those points, already up onto 1.3 mil in profits. I mean, so far, we did see quite a few of those reds already coming out quite early on. But SSG, though, curious to see what they're going to be doing, as they are just pretty much situated up here in Highway, right? Not making a lot of moves. They just kind of holding the position, trying to see if there's going to be a good way to get themselves rotated out of here. And it does seem like they know that there's a team ahead of them over at the barracks.
Yeah, I can only assume. They've played Zero Dam 600,000 times. That's an estimate, folks. I don't know exactly how many times, but yeah, unless the team from barracks is full sending towards admin, then They will be right where they spawn, slow looting and trying to get some intel. How do you get intel? Raptor. As you take a look at the operator choices, you can see that every single team is running a Raptor on this map. Makes a ton of sense. A lot of open spaces. We say this every time. Very valuable to get your eye in the sky. So, Team Nadeshot listening for some action nearby, and they won't find it. There's not too many people close, at least not yet, which is good news for them. They've actually found 1.5 mil in total assets on the map, just from looting up admin. Not too shabby, but again, as much as we're like, this is eco, go get your loot, make sure you stay alive and extract. Kind of. I mean, definitely the airdrops. Like, you'd see Team Nadeshot complete control this first airdrop. That's a huge boon for them. But, I mean, 1.5 is not even a point in our supply points yet. So, every kill, 800k plus a kill point. I mean, that's really what we're looking for. And I think these teams are going to break out and get more aggressive here shortly.
Yeah, of course, BDH now just trying to figure out whether or not they are going to look to play Wallbreaker here. As you can see already, Team Nadeshot, they've moved up and out of admin as they are going to be opting for that first initial drop, looking to get their loot nice and filled up with a nice early supply of some magic that could be popping out right here. Let's see which it is. Ooh, yes, sir. AWM. There we have it. The AWAM has now entered the lobby.
I like that we have like 5 different ways of saying the gun. I think the general community says the most. I still stand on my high horse and call it AWM for time immemorial, because I've been talking about this weapon for like 20 years. So get off my back for the AWM, and I think you're an AWAM guy, which I respect as well. Sir. It does certainly wham you in the face when the bullet comes down. Now, you know, we say this all the time, but it is the first round, so I might as well repeat myself. These shots are so valuable, and you only have 5 of them. Using them on a metal brick round or a non-metal brick round on an eco round like this, not really worth it unless you could 100% get a full team wipe from it. Then it's like, okay, cost benefit analysis proves that, you know, 2.4 mil is better than the 100k per shot that you're shooting. But you really need to make sure that you're getting a free knock with it so that your team can follow up and get the wipe. If you're not even able to get the full on the player, that is so not worth it.
Yeah, that's where accuracy is going to be absolutely key, right? I mean, because you can have all the AWM rounds in the world. If you can't hit a shot, it doesn't matter all too much, right? I mean, it's a great scare factor, but yeah, you're going to have that accuracy with it there as well. And of course, speaking about accuracy, right? Meg is just overflowing with that accuracy when it comes to the compound bow. So curious to see if we are going to have a few of those compound bow plays coming out here today. But in the meantime, BTH, though, they haven't done all too much, right? We did see them start over at barracks. They've just moved down a little bit right here to where they can activate that wall breaker mission. But aside from that, they've just pretty much held their position here.
Yeah, taking their sweet time. We did see, kind of not really mentioned, you see it now on your screen, SSG was able to work their way all the way into admin. So they came around Team Nadeshot, and I'm not sure the Team Nadeshot even saw them make it in, because they were looking back towards barracks still. You've got to assume somebody's in the area. Now that you've already gotten the airdrop, looks like Too Easy is scraping some reds off the ground that Team Nadeshot may have missed in admin, which works out. Now it looks like they're looking back towards admin, so likely got to read, maybe with a Raptor drone or otherwise, that somebody has taken their position back inside admin. You can see actually our second airdrop. Look at our map feed. Second airdrop is actually also landing up in the admin area, just out to the west. It's Too Easy finds some more scraps. And hey, listen, if one of these hit, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but it's gonna be crazy. Yeah. You might as well shoot them, I guess. Like, they're so cheap. Just send them down range and hope you get lucky. I mean, I respect it.
Yeah. I mean, if Meg was able to land one of those arrow shots, I would take a big sip of coffee. Right. Because
sure. Okay.
Why not? Right. That's pretty much the strongest you're going to get out of me, but I think that would equate to just how impressive that shot would be coming through from Meg. But in the meantime, though, the team's definitely playing with a completely different strategy here, right? Really taking quite a bit of a breather, I would almost say, right? They are moving in, trying to get themselves situated, and it seems like one of the teams are just anticipating a bit of a snowball that could be starting pretty soon, but we're not there yet, right? We're getting closer.
Yeah.
I don't know how much closer we need to get, though.
Yeah, this is pretty dang slow start. This is a slow 0 damn kickoff. Teams are maybe a little bit nervous, don't want to sell, don't want to overextend. Quick note, by the way, you can actually see it perfect. Thank you, production. You can actually see it on your screen right now. Do you see that? I think it's Slept that has the He only has 3 bullets in it. He got 5. What these teams oftentimes do is they'll split the bullets up because you can't buy the ammo or get the ammo any other way except for these airdrops. But you can technically buy the weapon. So if they're able to keep a couple shots, they could spend their money. Now, it's an expensive weapon, but spend their money and buy another AWM in lobby in order to use that ammo that they saved. Now, the extra 2 rounds just for a mana pick round could be enough to make a difference. So likely what they did here is just split the ammo up. But either way you look at it, just a little nuance for you since we're 10 minutes into the game and only a couple shots have been fired. Looks like Slept is looking for some action, or at the very least, using that scope. Oh, wait a minute. Killsall on a little bit of a flank, a little sneaky flank. No knocks, but pretending like he is one, just crouch walking through the shipping containers. As Meg is trying to get some intel using Zip and figuring out what's going on. I'd love to check back in on Killsall and see. Yeah, look at him. He's crept his way all the way up into the containers.
Mm-hmm. Bro's got a serious face on. You know that something's cooking, right?
Oh,
Something's coming.
I am so dumb. I was just not expecting to see a Nox in the first round. I just assumed he wasn't Nox. He is Nox. It makes sense. It's gonna be a huge play from Killsall.
Could be a big play coming through from Boy as well. As you can see him just peeking that entrance. But again, right, somebody is just waiting to kick this whole party off. One hit is all that's needed, especially looking at how the teams are currently situated. I mean, everybody is pretty much in the admin confines, right, within the area that we could call that, well, the admin space, right? They are all in here. The only team we have to really commit to it, of course, is going to be Nightmare. But looking at the airdrop, though, we do see some champagne coming through here. The shots starting to fire across the way. Now, Killsall getting things started.
Listen, this man is has the most damage in the entire group stage for a reason. He's got 1, he's got 2, and it's not. He gets all of them. He doesn't need any help. Unbelievable. Skies goes to cross and gets taken down by Slept, but Killsall's by himself 1v3 on the back line. What a start for the team at the top of the leaderboard in the group stages. The team Nadeshot had a great start in terms of loot, but after they got what could have been some nice value with the AWM, they go down. And you can't put that ammo in your safe box. So as much as I was touting a nice little play there from spreading the ammo out, they're all dead. SSG's going to have a full 5-shot AWM. Unless one was fired that we missed. What a wild sequence. And again, it pays to be sneaky. Great play.
And it also pays to be Killsall, taking down the entire squad all by himself. But now it is going to be pressure being applied here from Boy up into that entryway. As you can see, the players here from BTH trying to see if there's a bit of an angle they can find here. Team Liquid, though, I like the position that they are trying to get themselves situated in. They are going to go for the passage and try and sneak all the way back around BTH. But they have to be quick, right? Because, yep, Killsall is there and he pops right into the back of them.
Looks like they're able to smoke and maybe pull him behind cover. Killsall getting really aggressive here and actually getting tagged by BTH. Not afraid to use a couple of these shots. It looked like there was only 2, so whether he split or maybe Team Nadeshot did actually send 1 down range means there's probably 2 on a body somewhere else that they probably looted. Or his teammates have that. He's got 1 more shot. BTH, in the meantime, in that fight, while Mindo gets Boy back onto his feet, BTH was able to loot the second airdrop. All we saw was the champagne. Not much else to write home about, but they did jump up to 1.9 mil, so should be able to pick up to around 2 mil, which is an extra point for them. Hey, we'll take what we can get.
Points are points at the end of the day. Doesn't really matter how you get those secured, but either which way, it is going to be a little bit of a play up to that elevator now as, well, it has been activated. And now we are going to be seeing teams shift focus and start to head up to the north, as it is going to be pressure, pressure, pressure. Aside from this, of course, we still have the other 2 extractions open as well. We do see the main tunnel being an option. Not quite sure if anybody is going to opt for that. And of course, we still have the weight restricted extraction as well. So there are multiple options for these teams to get themselves played out here. But Nightmare, though, the first team right here at the extraction, they are going to be sitting around and waiting to see if anybody is going to dare venture up to them.
Yeah, I mean, at least we've seen extraction this time. We didn't see one yesterday. and means there should be a fight over at the elevator if folks want to fight. We know Spacestation Gaming likes to fight. But right now, Liquids has been slow walking this map and have the least amount of assets, so they'd love to pick up some kills. They were maybe thinking about playing third party from the far right-hand side of the map, far right side of admin, east side, but they've rotated back around. Kills on, not afraid. Use this shot. At least using the scope to get some intel, and definitely, I think, spotted some folks inside. But in the meantime, we'll peek over on the other side because BTH has lost a player. Shots over the top. It's going to be a 3-team bang out. Here we go. BTH, Liquids in an engagement with Team Liquid in the area. And it's a trading of blows all the way across the map as we're back at the extraction as well. And SSG's getting extremely aggressive. They pushed all the way up to boxes. And watch out. If you get too close to Skies, he's going to gun you down, or maybe from a distance. Space Station Gaming cut down. Nightmare. They are gone, holding the extraction and get obliterated. Space Station Gaming, 2 full teams wiped, and now BTH gone at the behest of this 3-team battle. And now we'll see who'll be the last team on the outside of Elevator still alive. Oh my goodness, Mindo again. All right. Well, that's all of our teams there, DK. We went from 6 to 5 to 2 in the blink of an eye.
I mean, it's pretty crazy, right? I mean, SSG, it does seem like they are looking to play with a big level of confidence here today. They are sitting with nearly 6 million in profits just at the start of this very first round here of the... Well, it's not the start. At the start of the day, right? Because we've got 2 minutes left on the clock, so it's pretty much over. But an absolutely phenomenal run coming through here for SSG. This is going to set them up beautifully for the remainder of the day. I don't see Team Liquid making it all the way up towards the northern edge, but of course there is that opportunity for them to absolutely fill up their loot boxes and get everything crammed in there into those 3x3s before that timer runs out.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth mentioning here, too. I'm looking back on some stats. Funny enough, the last 2 teams standing on Zero Dam in our first eco round here in day 2 of week 2 is Team Liquid and Space Station Gaming. Team Liquid is currently in 6th place overall in our group standings, but they have the same amount of eliminations as Space Station Gaming, who are in 1st on our group stages. These 2 teams are our top fragging teams in the entire group stage. The only team that's missing is not playing today. It's W Key Forever. You see SSG extract 2 out of our 3 top slaying teams left on the map after slaying out the lobby. Makes a lot of sense to me. SSG with a full extract there is going to protect a ton of loot value and give them a gigantic lead on our leaderboard. Team Liquid are trying to send maybe a player or 2 out of their own, but really well done from both of these 2 rosters to kick off the day. Very strong.
Long you took over here. I don't know if you do.
Well, I think I do. The problem is I'm noticing I have a broken leg and my PK's been wear off. So that might be a bit of an issue.
I should have given you actually no armor 6. Expensive. Yeah, I think next time, Hotzig, you run for no bag, and we just come with you and min-max on the way, so you don't...
Normally I would have time. I just didn't notice my broken leg.
I mean, in general, like, it can't happen, you know? Like, you just start moving earlier, and then we can bring you stuff if there is time to loot, because the timing is the same.
Yep.
Oh, there we have it. Some interesting comms, eh? Yeah, it just took a minute to listen in on the conversation there from Team Liquid. But yeah, it does seem like Godzik is definitely going to go for that extraction, the dam extract, to make sure that the team at least have a little bit of value to take along with them. But some good comms. It does seem like they are pretty chill, right? Pretty focused coming into the action here today. So really looking forward to seeing what they are going to be bringing in as we step over into Brakkesh very soon.
Yeah, it was actually a funny listening because I think Hotzig's right. I think he does make it if he doesn't have a broken leg and just a little bit of a misread there. But Mindo's like, why risk it? Just let's min-max on the way over to a closer extract. Fair enough from the gentleman, but Team Liquid, they don't extract, but they still had a solid map. They show up to a third party and they win that third party fight, getting a couple kills to boot. So great job from some of our top heavy-hitting slaying teams. Space Station Gaming, though, the big winners of that round. Big winners in many different ways. One, they pick up 2 full team wipes, which is 6 total points. Plus, they pick up some supply points. So they're going to be in double digits on our leaderboard, most likely. But 2, they're walking away with at least one shot, likely 3 in that AWM and the gun itself. So it's gonna be a huge boon, potentially even on this next round on Brakkesh with our first mana break round. But man, if anything else, the other win that they got is, I mean, they're starting off so strong that it might be a little cause for worry from some of our other rosters. That is a very quick hit of like, are they really that good just because they're perfect? Yeah, look at this. 6 kill points, nearly 6 mil assets gained, plus the per round compensation will put them with at least 3 supply points there and over 1,000 damage. Really well done from Spacestation Gaming. Wow, Team Liquid picked up all of those kills? I thought for sure somebody else got a kill in a 3-team fight, but no, it was just Mindo and Boy. They killed everybody. They also got 2 full team wipes.
Yeah, I mean, so Mendo got a team wipe, Boy got a team wipe, Killzol we saw get an absolute team wipe. So these 3 players have just been absolutely cooking on our very first match of the day. First round done and dusted. That is going to be 0 dam. And 3 players just leading the charge, dominating the living goodness out of this lobby. But of course, it is also down to who's been dealing all that damage. We do see Meg also creeping up here with at least 415 damage being contributed. So, you know, it is a bit of a shared responsibility across these teams, looking to see who can cause the most chaos.
It's crazy that you see Meg there without a kill, by the way. That's a lot of damage without a kill. Some kills got stolen. There's no question about that. But nice assist here from Hodzik, Team Liquid. Hodzik playing backline and picking up a ton of damage as well to help out the team as Boy and Mindo pick up a lot of kills. But of course, it's Spacestation Gaming at the top because they're the only team that extracted. So they pick up nearly 2 million apiece and all 3 getting out. This is a gigantic lead they're creating for themselves. They talk about this all the time in the interviews. It's been kills all over and over again. And they always talk about like kind of taking the game into your own hands. And hey, we play for the win. We play for mana bricks. But man, they get a lot of kills and assets to boot. Those things just come as a little cherry on top when you win the map. So great job from Spacestation Gaming and Killzol, the MVP with 3 kills. He did it by himself nearly. Sky's helping out by at least commanding their Team Nadeshot's attention in another direction. But still, technically a 1v3 on the backside. And congrats to him. Great Nox play. I really wasn't expecting it. But folks, as you can see down below, make sure you drop a follow on all major socials here with Delta Force and the Delta Force Rise series. You can find more information about that on the eSports accounts as well. Man, we had a lot of fun with Zero Dam. It was aggressive in the second half at the very least, and it really set the tone that Spacestation Gaming is here to prove that they can stay perfect, folks. You're not going to want to miss our first Mana Brick round in the next one. It's going to be Brakkesh coming to you soon.
Members now the odds are in their favor 2v1. Everything getting spammed away and MT getting a little solo. Hang on a second, NL. Look at that. It's an absolute sweat. This. And Ellis got it. They're here. Lines them up even through the shot. You're nuts. The last remaining 3 BOV. They find 2 instant knocks. The Elm's going to be hopping off to that.
Hey there, my name is Smile, and I am the captain and IGL of Team Nadeshot. The way I got into this game was one of my streamers that I used to watch at the time. He got sponsored by Delta, and I decided to check the game out and got hooked, and the rest is history. My teammates' names are Slept and Crisp, and together we're Team Nadeshot. Crisp is our energetic and far support player, and Slept is our monster entry fragger who's always capable of making crazy plays. Slept and I is a long-time duo that have been playing together for a while, and Crisp is one of the best support players that used to play on a different team that we picked up recently. in my opinion, what sets apart our team from the rest of the league is the fact that our chemistry is on really good level and we really understand each other. I'm really proud of how far my team came through. So everything that we've been doing together is really fun, and I'm really excited for the tournament. For me, the most adrenaline I get is whenever we get the brick, whenever it's a big fight and we come up top as victors, is when the most fun I get. Okay, for all the newcomers, I would say to never back down, never give up, keep improving, stay committed, and if you feel like it, just trust the process.
The enemy got the mantle bricks. Find it. Stop them. Mantle bricks decoded. Nice work, operator.
The time to strike is now. Do not let me down, operator.
Decoding has begun. Defend the area.
Is about to take the first mantle brick of the tournament, and they're going to do it!
What goes around, comes around.
Not gonna do very much though. You get barrel stuff. Skydie is getting aggressive.
See what I did there? You ain't seen nothing yet.
Let's knock them off their feet.
There we go! Down from there it is.
Welcome back, Delta Force Rise Series, Day 2, Week 2. It's Groups A and D. And this man right here in the Americas region with his teammates, Too Easy and Skies, are dominating the region thus far. They are infallible, and they win Map 1 as well. Look at this, 14 squad points to kick things off. We got 2 teams at the top, and then everybody else, TK.
Yes, sir. Nice little bit of a cherry on top here coming through for SSG. And, of course, Team Liquid bringing in that heat from what we saw. A very, very strong play across the board there. And, of course, that makes sense looking at where these teams are currently situated with regards to those overall leaderboards, right? Team Liquid, of course, quite happy with their performance here. But they're going to have to try and bring even more of that spice in as we head into our first airdrop and mantle brick round, heading over into Brakkesh.
Yeah, this is a big one. Brakkesh is one where you can really start pulling away from the competition, and specifically around these operators. I think it's worth mentioning. We do see Nightmare ran double D-Wolf that last rep, so they won't have D-Wolf for the rest of this tournament unless we go to Game 7. But otherwise, pretty much everything's open. You know, fun thing about Brakkesh, like we just mentioned, TK was talking about the airdrops and the mantle break. There's a lot to play for on this map, and a big swing in momentum if you're able to get an AWM or an M82 and also still be able to play for the mantle brick. We'll see what these teams decide to load in with and how much investment they're going to put onto this round. Occasionally, a team will use a Tempest on this round to try to get an early lead, but in general, these are our most popular operators. Aluru, Morse, Gizmo, a lot of control focus, specifically because we're going to be playing around Museum a ton this map, DK.
Yeah, there's going to be quite a bit of that push and play coming through here, but of course, looking at our teams that got that Tier 1 spawn on the first map, they can't have it coming into match, or rather round number next, as it opens up to the rest of the lobby. So there could be Nightmare, it could be Liquids, could be Team Liquid, as well as SSG step it up for that as well. So a lot to look forward to here, as we are going to be looking to see where the teams pop out.
They've entered the compound.
That's right. First mantle brick round. Will anybody get the mantle brick? I think is a good question as well, considering yesterday. But folks, there's a lot on the line for the players, but also we want to reward you for being here. We got another giveaway coming to you right now. We got a redeemable code about to pop up on screen. And when you see it, there it is. You got to type it in extremely quickly to get the SR3M Combat Ready skin. Go get your hands on it right now. All you have to do is type in this code in-game or on the official website to go get your skin. There's only 25 redemptions total, so you better type fast. Type it in as fast as humanly possible. Make sure you capitalize and not capitalize every single letter accordingly to make sure you be one of the 25 people that get this SR3M combat ready skin. Go get it right now, typing in that code. It may already be gone, so if it is, don't worry, be prepared. We got more coming your way. But more action coming our way right now. It's time for some Brakkesh, and it looks like BTH find themselves in the Tower of Babel.
Ooh, SSG though with the quick early spawn, as they are going to be getting their position quickly on it. Nightmare is going to be joining them up, and 2 squads
No way.
now kicking the body off here. As you can see, the trades coming through. Nightmare already having their first player dropped on down. This is exactly the kind of heat that we are looking for.
Spacestation Gaming, Nightmare T1 spawns. They full sprint into Museum trying to get a power position. They both want it, so they both are willing to risk it. Quick look at the operators. We're seeing a lot of what we saw on the graphics beforehand. Do see a couple Raptors. CJ Device, see Skies running Raptors to get some extra intel. See if that ends up mattering. Everybody is on purple, though. Otherwise, it's all Mandel bricks. Nothing too surprising on the left side of your screen. Several engineers to help zone off these positions. Power position in the museum because the brick spawn's just outside of it. And they do clean up DW with that incendiary. Well done from Killzall to secure that one. Now it's a 3v2.
Yeah, 3v2, definitely helping to even out the odds here, but of course it is still going to be quite a bit of a pressure play coming through in both directions. As Nightmare now is trying frantically just to ensure that they have a good steady flow of something coming through here. Of course, we didn't see the craziest play in the previous round here from them. So this could be their opportunity to try a little bit of that bounce back. Are they going to be able to get themselves fully situated here? Not quite sure, but it is going to be Killzall coming through with Uluru. Ooh, that rocket could be quite devastating. Paired up with
here they go.
Ult. Absolute insanity, but look at the sprays from Equal.
Yeah, it was a great spot with Heady over the top, but unfortunately 3 people is just too many. Down goes Nightmare, full wiped out of this lobby, and they're able to pick back up Skies before he goes to yellow timer. Really well done, playing their player advantage well. SSG start off with a bang, but in the midst of the chaos, you can see inside a museum, look at this, Team Nadeshot have rotated all the way up, and they're going to grab the brick and then go on the run. Are they going to go inside after hearing all those shots, or are they going to go somewhere else, somewhere that they know is potentially free? Maybe where they came from, the western side of museum. They're going to go to a decoding station that they think it's possible that they could at least maintain some semblance of control. And that's exactly what they're doing. Look at this. They're going to go to the west. They're going to go to this decoding station. And it looks like SSG have read this as well. They got a quick read on where they were going. Killzall up in the front.
Well, this could be a great opener coming through here for Team Nadeshot as they have started off that decoding. Now it's going to be push, and also a side order of defense that will need to find its way in here. Killzall already quite early with that positioning that we could see there, trying to get himself right up close and personal. But again, not doing all too much just yet, right? They are just closing the gap while the rest of the lobby is still going about their business. You can see, of course, players there from Liquids all the way over on towards that far side, right? J-Device, Meg, all of them just moving about. Meanwhile, BTH, they are all the way down in the tower looking to get that loot on. Team Liquid, though, not quite sure what their angle is going to be moving up from here. Are they going to look to go contest that metal break, or are they going to venture down into the tower? We'll find out soon. But for the time being, Liquids, though, they are going to be making their way through and trying to play as stealthily as they can here.
I do want to be clear to everybody. Yes, we have Liquids and Team Liquid playing against each other. So there is a difference, okay? Liquids has Megalith on it. Team Liquid has Mendo. Watch out for both of these rosters, but yeah, no, it was an interesting look at the map actually because of this team right here. You brought it up. Team Liquid not going for the mana brick. They're actually going to the Tower of Babel, which is an interesting play. I mean, maybe looking for loot or thinking there's a team here, which they certainly is. BTH pulled the new Tower of Babel, and they said, and this is BTH's MO. Now, they are at the bottom of our group stage leaderboard. They have 0 points after 2 matches, struggling throughout the course of this competition. But this is what they do. They play very slow, very patient. They loot up, and then they show up very late for some of these mana brick fights. They're not going to get here in time unless enough teams steal it back and forth that they like that it's worth their time. They're worried about getting their money up right now and then likely either extracting or going for these airdrops. See, our first airdrop is going to start to fall out of the sky here in about 70 seconds. So could see them rotate for that pending where it's dropping.
I mean, if it comes down to Team Liquid, they always have quite a few strategies in their back pocket. So curious to see what the angle is going to be here, as we'll be keeping an eye on those approaches. But in the meantime, it's going to be SSG though, trying to apply a bit of pressure as they move forward onto Team Nadeshot. We do see Liquids coming through with that wide wraparound angle. This is where things could definitely look to get quite interesting, as very soon we could see Team Nadeshot finding themselves in quite a bit of a pressure situation, right? It's going to be teams on multiple angles in which they'll have to try and defend. So not quite sure if they are ready for what they've kind of let themselves in for here, but either which way, they're going to have to face the music.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, teams are rotating in slow. So what SSG is doing, they really didn't feel like they could cross the street. So they're actually wrapping up to the north side through Hotel. Let's listen into some of the comms if we can hear it and hear what they have to say about this position.
Okay, yeah, they're coming here, but I'm fine right now. I smoked it. Ult it, ult it. I think you ult
Come
it.
back.
Ult it, oh yeah, ult it.
Come back.
Okay, okay.
We just play back by Smile now.
Okay, there it is. Just talking about positioning, only 40 seconds on the clock, and finally folks are arriving at the Mandelbrick. Team Nadeshot in dead center. We're going to see SSG first to the fight on the northern side, coming through Hotel like I talked about, just outside of Hotel, and now sprinting forward for the brick, making a play, while on the opposite side they're getting a little bit of pressure as well, but it's all SSG and all Team Nadeshot. And right now there's a trading of blows. Chris last alive, 18 seconds on the clock. Somebody's got to jump it, or at the very least take down Chris. SSG, smart play from Killzall, has the wherewithal to know he's not going to get shot doing this, able to steal it, reset it for his DK. But both teams lose two, both teams weak. This is great news for a team like BTH, who are arriving a little bit earlier than they usually do on the south side. Should see, there they are. Look at them going in. All three alive, looted up from the new Tower of Babel. Top of our leaderboard on the left, looking to get a piece of the action.
Yeah, again, different strategies being at play here. So let's see whether or not this one is going to pay off for the side of BTH. Already moved up past Smile, and they could now just land those heads. So you can see them looking to, well, get their hands on the decode. They didn't try. They actually just walked up and got it. But now the focus shifts to the rest of the teams holding up towards this northern angle to see if there's going to be any kind of contention. But in the meanwhile, also Team Liquid, they've now gone for an interesting wraparound as Killzall gets taken on down. And this brings us down to only 4 squads now left on the field.
I mean, honestly, a little bit of a taste of his own medicine. Just didn't check all the corners, and we still had Chris ratting out for Team Nadeshot. Worked out well for him. Down goes Spacestation Gaming. They were the team at the top of the leaderboard. They'll be at the bottom in this lobby. They only picked up 2 kills, but a lot more action still at hand as Chris is running for his life, not only away from Gizmo, but also a ridiculous amount of shots from the NPCs even. I mean, this guy's just trying to stay alive. It's ridiculous how much fire he is taking. He's laughing about it. Just trying to stay up onto his feet. Finally goes prone in the smoke and is able to live through the onslaught of, I guess, Prometheus's crew. It was hilarious. No way. Dude, he goes down to the doctor assault card. He's laughing, man. There's just too much firepower. He's trying to get out of there and reset. That is hilarious, but we got a big fight on our hands.
I mean, absolute insanity. And of course, to add to it, we do have that attack helicopter moving in as well. So even more pressure getting applied onto our players. But let's see whether or not BTH can piece this play together. Already 1.5 mil in assets that they've been able to secure so far. Ooh, but it does take quite a bit of a swing over to Liquid. Now it is now Lord Jaco trying to push up the side.
That is maybe the most valuable incendiary I've ever seen. A free wipe, because that Molly landed on their face, took 2 down, and the third was weak. A ridiculous play from BTH. Lord Jackal showing what it means to really utilize utility well. And they've got full control right now of the Mandelbrick. Reminder, BTH is the team in the last place on our group stage leaderboard. This would be a big moment for them. Not only an extra point just by getting the Mandelbrick, but likely assuring a top half finish by getting the first Mandelbrick. Not always, but usually you're getting top 3 if you have a Mandelbrick at all. This is big.
Well, I said at the start of the day, BTH need to do what we saw happening with WKF yesterday, right? Bring in that aggression, bring in that pressure, and so far, it seems like that is exactly what they have on the menu for us.
25.
Team Liquid now trying everything they can to get in there. It is going to be a very close call, but so far it does seem like it might very much swing in favor of BTH.
Now, Team Liquid a little bit slow to pull the trigger here and just full send. Here comes the Toxic ult to try to full send, but there's no way they're getting to the... Oh, they could just wipe them. Just kill them all, and maybe it pauses. You have 4 seconds. You got to full send it, and he's actually going to try to stick it. We're not looking. Kaw's going to let him steal it. Unbelievable. That should not have gone off with a single second left, and Hotstick's still alive. Mindo's still alive. BTH just faltering. They're falling. A small mistake turned catastrophic for a roster that should have had a free mana brick. He just didn't want to peek. He didn't hear him. What on earth? And now Lord Jaka, who was on 3 kills, has to get 3 more. You kidding me? No way.
I think I got shot from a distance northeast. Oh, we have contract on the ground. I see it on the ground. I might repair first before I go for contract.
Yeah, I'm repairing.
I'm just rocketing north.
Wow. What a turn of events, DK.
Insane. I mean, absolutely brutal stuff. But hey, Team Liquid, they are locking in here today. You got to give it up to BTH though, right? I really like the approach that they were looking to take here. So things pretty decent, pretty strong. Both these teams doing absolutely phenomenal work here. But of course, at the end of the day, they can only beam to walk away with our very first mandal break of the day here. And it is going to be Team Liquid with a guaranteed decode. So I like how the day is starting.
Insane. I mean, I'd watch back. Listen, I might have to like after we need like a Delta Force Rise series like after show on main here, where you and I just walk through these plays and like get a telestrator out and draw some stuff, because I mean that was something you go back and watch the VOD over and over and over again if you're BTH and say, what did we miss? We were literally 1 second away from getting a brick and probably a team wipe on Team Liquid if they would have played that slightly differently. And I think Ka was just a hair too timid to peek the brick. When your timer's 5 seconds or below, you have to peek. You have to look. You can't afford not to. You still had 2 players up. It wasn't like you were risking dying and therefore it pausing. You had to check there. Oh, man. Brutal. I don't want to keep harping on him, but it was just so brutal. They desperately need a brick. And Team Liquid going to be the top of the leaderboard after the Brakkesh round. And, I mean, this mana brick was put down so fast in the decoding station by Team Nadeshot, DK. They're not only going to get the brick, but they're going to be able to extract no problem. We still got 5.5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if anything, the teams that have already been taken out so far, I want to see them actually use this round as motivation, right? That they have so far been able to do quite a bit here today. Of course, Team Liquid, they did the most in this round right now, but I want to see teams still use the motivation and bring in that play as we progress through the rest of the day. But as we know, for Brakkesh, there's going to be only one team who we can salute as they go about their business here. And of course, it is going to be Mendo and the rest of the players locking it in here for Team Liquid. And of course, ending us off with a nice little bit of a cinematic walkabout as we go through Brakkesh.
Yeah, take Prometheus all the way to the helipad, man, and just get the heck out of here. You can see Mendo's just smiling, excited about this one, feeling like, wait, are we really last? Are we the last team on the map? Unreal, man. That was not how I was expecting map 2 to go. But at this point, I mean, I might as well be surprised. I said that like 5 times yesterday, the exact same adage of that's not how I was expecting it to go. It changes, and that's what I love about this format, man. It's like, it's so unique. You're playing an objective so tight, but also there's something so valuable with these kill points about playing for kills. And so you see teams just take different strategies and play for the same win condition of mana bricks, but just do it in different ways.
Yeah, I think that's the interesting dynamic of what we've been witness to so far over the past few days of play here is, yes, there is the obvious tactic. Go for the brick, decode, leave, right? That's the main, the very dumbed down explanation of what these teams need to do, right? But that's not what they do. They take it, and I'm pretty sure they sit there before the start of the day and they probably think to themselves, you know what is probably the most unexpected thing that we could do? Let's go for that. And we've seen that. Yesterday it was the play. Today, so far, just a whole bunch of surprises coming through. We do see those wooden statues as well coming out now. So that's going to be a golden opportunity, no pun intended, coming through for Team Liquid.
Yeah, I love that you shouted that out as we saw all the looting going on. They kind of have the pick up the litter. If they were really paying attention, they could go for these airdrops. But let's listen to some of their comms and see what they're talking about as we wrap this one.
They have Mendo.
I can take it, sure.
On the ground here.
Thank you.
400k for mixed compound bill. There's a 780k MK 46.
That's exactly what I expected. They realized, hey, everybody's dead. Let's do inventory management. How many times have you been playing with your friends on Delta Force and you've had the exact same? If somebody was listening in to your comms, it would sound the exact same, right? It's nobody talking. They go, I found a 400k bow. I found a 700k. Can you fit this? Can you fit that? Like, you're just min-maxing. This is the inventory management we always see, even in pubs. Should see them extract about 90 seconds around mid-map.
Yeah, but it's funny you say that because I had one of those runs earlier today. So yeah, I can very much relate to what we see happening right here. And I mean, it is such a great feeling, especially when you need to for economy, exactly as they were trying to do here, right? With the added benefit of having the Mandel Brick as well. So this is a golden run coming through for the side of Team Liquid. They got the wooden statues. They are sitting on a total of 20.7 million assets, which is insane. And of course, they get to extract as well. So just doing a little bit of that due diligence just to make sure that there are no surprises. They've already established that everybody's been taken out. But they just want to make perfectly sure that this is going to be their ticket out of here. And we'll see for the first time on Brakkesh, though, a full squad getting a full extraction and the Mandel Brick in the bag as well.
Yeah, the only criticism I could give them, not that they necessarily know everything that we know. If anything, they know much, much less. But the only other thing they could have done, I mean, they min-maxed and got up to 7.3. That is huge. They could have gone for both the airdrops. Technically, those were both unlooted. So you have both an AWM or M82 out there, as well as some red and gold gear you could have grabbed, or loot rather. So definitely something still left on the map, but overall, you can't ask for much better of a run there from Team Liquid. Came into the fight at the right time, won a difficult fight, frankly, with literally a second left before that brick went to BTH. So good job from Team Liquid. They're going to be at the top of the leaderboard by a pretty substantial margin now, not only because of the brick, but also all that loot they picked up. So great job from them. Reminder, they were one of the only two teams that kind of survived till end of map in Zero Dam. So they already were at the top of the leaderboard with SSG, and now they will surpass them at the very least because of that brick.
Yeah, I mean, this definitely sets them up beautifully for the rest of the day. So it's all going to come down to how they look to play through that fourth round once we eventually get there. But of course, another good indicator could be what we could see as we head into round number 3. But first up, round 2, right? It is going to be Brakkesh going straight over to Team Liquid. Is Mendo, Hotzik, and Boy walking away with those 3 kill points. 7.3 mil for their extraction, as well as a decent chunk of damage. And on top of that, they add in the Mandel Brick. So a very, very good start to round number 2 here for them. And of course, looking at the points, it continues.
Yeah, I mean, that's a point per person in terms of loot value, a point per person in terms of kills there for Team Liquid. So supply points, kill points, all fantastic. Really well done from Team Liquid to come out on top with the brick as well as all those points. Spacestation Gaming, again, they were already at the top. They still picked up 4 total kills, which is a solid little add. So they actually might still be ahead in terms of squad points, the overall points. They just won't be in first because of the mana brick. Now, I as much as I was really kind of hammering down on the misplay from BTH, they did have some good moments. Namely, Lord Jackal did drop 4 total kills, I believe, and 3 of those were on the back of 1 incendiary that he threw. So that was ridiculous what he's able to accomplish there. But it still kills all at the top of our damage charts. He will stay at the top of the damage charts most of the day, I am assuming. And we got some nice assists here from both Team Liquid and Toot.
Yeah, definitely looking pretty good from either which way. And as you can see, right, Team Liquid, again, just being very, very consistent across the board. But it's good to see BTH step it up, and that is exactly what I was hoping to see come through from them here today. At the end of the day, though, there can only be 3 top asset owners And of course, no surprise to see who that is, as we did see everybody just ensuring that they get that extra point on the board. It all stacks up for those squad points, as we know that really helps with kind of discerning who goes where. But there's only going to be one MVP, and that is, again, none other than Killzone with a back-to-back finish, getting the 3 kills, 770 damage, as well as that 1 assist. So a lot of consistency coming through from Killzone there, right? SSG going to be very, very happy about that. But Team Liquid, man, they just hit that flow state.
Yeah, and they needed it. Team Liquid excited to be pushing up this leaderboard again in the group stage rankings. They're about mid-pack. I mean, they're barely up to like 6th place, I believe, currently. So still a lot of work to do if they want to catch a team like SSG. But this is one way to do it. Go up early. It doesn't happen that often over a roster like this. So I'm excited for Team Liquid and Mendo and the crew. But folks, we're gonna head to a very short break. When we come back, guess what? We're going to another eco round. It's gonna get real sneaky. We're going to Tide Prison. You're not gonna want to miss it. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Members now the odds are in their favor. 2v1. Everything getting spammed away, and NT getting a little. So hang on a second, NL. Look at that! It's an absolute sweat. This. And you just gotta know that they're here. Lines them up, even through the shot. You're nuts. For the last remaining 3 BOV, they find 2 instant knocks. The Elm's gonna be hopping off that.
Got the mantle bricks. Find and stop them. Mantle bricks decoded. Nice work, operator.
The time to strike is now. Do not let me down, operator.
Decoding has begun. Defend the area.
Is about to take the first brick of the tournament. And they're going to do it.
What goes around, comes around.
Oh, not gonna do very much though. When you get barrel stuff, Skydie is getting aggressive.
See what I did there? You ain't seen nothing yet.
Let's knock them off their feet.
There we go. There it is.
Welcome back, Delta Force Rise Series Day 2, Week 2, Groups A and D here in the Americas region, and Team Liquid and SSG, the top 2 teams in back-to-back rounds. SSG won round 1 in our eco round, but in round 2, Team Liquid get the brick and get the most points and take first in both categories. Look at that, just barely over SSG in terms of squad points, but Team Liquid could have 1 squad point and still be the top because they got the mantle brick, DK.
Yes, sir. They are going to be smiling quite a bit, but I got to shout out BDH. They've been stepping it up here today, and it seems that, you know, hammering on a team continuously does eventually result in them stepping it up. So I like where it's going. I want to see a little bit more of that, but of course, in the same time, we got to see Liquids and Nightmare now really lock it in as we get into that second the next round, right? Round number 3 is going to be coming up, our second full eco run. So this is going to be an opportunity for them to now try and bring in a few more kills, because they've not been able to find a single shred of action so far today.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's a good shout. The teams at the bottom, I mean, how many times can you say a team like Nightmare has 0 kills after 2 games? I mean, they've just had brutal and slightly unlucky starts, I think, to some degree, but just some really unfortunate team fights. I mean, that fight in Museum immediately kicked off and immediately they died. It was so dang quick. So hoping things turn around for them here in Tide Prison. We'll be looking out for what they're going to be able to do in particular. Let's take a look at our operators, though, as we move into round number 3 here in match 5 overall in our group stages. We got plenty of operators still to choose from. In general, I want to talk about the most popular operators in Tide Prison here, DK. We've seen this over and over and over again. What you got for me? What do you expect to see?
Well, Nox, and Nox as well, I would say, right? Well, luckily they can't play 3 Noxes. I think that's for good reason, but as you can see there, we do see a lot of Morse, we do see a lot of Shepherd, as well as Nox being contributed here. And I think that double Nox Shepherd combo is really, really strong. We did see that paying off quite well yesterday, but the same could be for Morse as well. Really good with gathering that info. And it's all going to be down to where these teams are able to find their spawns, right? Because as we know, SSG, Nightmare, they obviously had their tier 1 spawns coming in on Brakkesh. Now moving into Tide Prison, this is again where the opportunity and the angle is going to be shifting, and so we could be seeing a mad dash heading straight over to that warden's office to get their hands on a little bit of that loot. But you got to watch out for these plays, right? Because it could turn on a head very quickly.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, really don't want the tier 1 spawn on Tide Prison. It's funny we call it tier 1 because it is tier 1. It is the best spawn for some of the advantages you can find on Tide Prison. Like, of course, you can run that GTI supply mission and pick up your AWM or your M82. But otherwise, the problem with getting the tier 1 spawn on Tide Prison, I say this every time, is that you won't get a tier 1 spawn in the first round of Space City, which has a battle brick on it, which is next. So you're kind of hoping you don't get that tier 1 if possible. We'll prepare for new, but hey, our eco round here is very important, in particular around kills. We need to find kills. If you're a team like Nightmare, who doesn't have a single kill yet, you are broke going into our economy round right now. You haven't extracted, you haven't gotten a kill. All you're getting is our 700k total per round supply. That's it. So you guys are broke. It's time to go get your loot off the map and then get a ton more loot to boot so you can actually play the game some of these mana brick rounds. It's some of the first times we've seen, if a team goes down here without a single kill in round 3, I'm going to go ahead and say it, that's probably the most broke team we've ever seen going into a Space City round. If you go into a mana brick round on Space City in game 4 without a single kill to your name and been wiped every single game, you are not going to have the loot you need to be able to really play for this mana brick. As off screen already, Meg has found the tank, 2.1 mil. That's an extra point straight to the bank. Nice find. Liquids, you needed it. I like it.
We've got Equal bringing in some of the coffee as well. So, hey, the Reds are rolling on in. Of course, looking at the loadouts that we got here, we do see a lot of those double Noxes being played. A lot of purples across the board as well, as the teams are trying to kind of save up a little bit before getting into that Space City rundown. But yeah, I think Shepherd is going to be quite handy here, especially also looking at Gizmo, right? Gizmo, yeah, I think there's going to be a good use, especially looking at how these teams currently find themselves situated here.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about the... Oh my gosh, look at that, BTH! Man, you guys are getting so lucky in loot. There's so many times where you just randomly are pulling these reds. BTH finding the painting for 2 mil. What a pickup. Hey, this is the same as finding a kill on the map. You find a kill as well, and boom, we're in business. I like it. But yeah, we talk about operator comps all day. I think when you think about the operators and what they're able to accomplish on the map, mainly with Morris, it's getting info. You have to find info with some of these engagements because of the way Tide Prison plays. There's so much CQB. There's so many ratty corners. If you can get any info with this sonar scan and have a chance to not be caught completely unaware.
I think it was funny in round 1 we said that the one team wasn't expecting Killzone to be a Nox. Seeing that Nox again, I think nobody kind of expected that play to be the case here, as it is going to be a really good angle and quite a bit of a useful asset for them to try and utilize moving through here. So far, we've seen what Gilzol can do when he really locks in. But now, is Sky is going to be able to get anything here with Hacklaw. Does spot out at least 2 of the operators ahead of him. So, shows him exactly where to go, potentially. Now, just looking to get a few of those flashes in as well. And Lord Jaco could maybe be receiving a little bit of pressure very, very soon if they're not careful.
They've got the intel, though. Both these two teams know somebody's close. As BTH again pulling more reds. 424K. They're already up to 3.3 mil, and they haven't shot a bullet yet. Mad respect. Doing it while potentially about to get into an engagement is impressive. Look at 2 go.
I like where his mind's at. Like, even though the rest of the standoff, dude is going to be going about looking for more of that loot to try and push that economy as high as they can. Currently already on 3.3 mil, a really decent start here. But now we have to switch over into action mode, as it is going to be SSG getting a little bit of restless here. They want to try and pressure the players here from BTH. The C2 and Lord Jaco just across the way. Car also just keeping up a nice little bit of an angle. We did see Team Liquid also trying to make a little bit of something happen, and they are potentially going to be bumping heads with Liquids that are moving into their position very quick and fast here. So it could be several points of contention just around the corner.
Possible. But this is the way Tide Prison goes. It's nice and slow to start. And take their time and make sure not to get into an engagement they can't win. So these two teams are going to stare at each other for a while we check out the rest of our teams. You had mentioned Team Liquid and Liquids. They're by each other to some degree. But a waiting game. Our GTI supply mission is about to open up and be available to grab. That's what that timer is, right next to the game clock. About 5 seconds till that's open. Able to complete that mission, get your AWM or your M82. Big difference maker for the next round. Which is the predator and which is the prey?
Yes.
A little bit of both.
Yeah. I mean, it could swing in any which direction at this point. I mean, I think it's basically just down to who lands the first hit. Because it is going to be an absolute bloodbath once that comes through. As you can see, Toot now getting some pretty good hits over onto his skies. As he's just slowly bleeding out here. But again, right, not a big rush coming in from either side. Both teams playing it surprisingly very, very cautious.
I mean, disc landed. Skies was really low, but they had to go through a choke point, which was tough. So we're going to go check out another stalemate. Liquids versus Team Liquid. Meg just popping some arrows down range just in case they land. Certainly could. Getting decent bit of damage actually on him. He's going to have to heal back up. Neither of these two fights are going to really kick off for a while. Unless somebody gets really aggressive, so... We sit and wait. Resource game. This guy's spending a lot of his healing, tanking a lot of the utility of his opponents. It's a fight they're technically winning, but here goes Killzall. Nice and quiet like. Talk about Nox's DK. Look at this BTH. Technically are double Nox, so are Liquids. But it's actually going to be Killzall playing Nox the way it's intended. Sneak and Rat, but there is a door closed. The bane of every Nox player's existence.
Yeah, I mean, because you could be as stealthy as you want, but opening a door, that kind of ruins the element of surprise. But this is where we're going to have to see the big old distraction coming in from their Hacklaw and, of course, Morse, right? This is a great opportunity for them to maybe play for a stun, throw something in just to try and incapacitate them, so they open up the angle
Yeah.
here for that portion. I mean, if they get that, Killzone can again do what he did in the previous round and just go to
He's
town
in.
on the opposition. Who they didn't hear him, or did they?
No, they definitely did. 2 doors open. Here comes all the util. He's coming in the backside. They're coming in the front. Too easy. Trying to make a pathway for Killzone to go in, but he's tanking so much util. He's actually going to back up. They're just going to do it again. They're going to play slow, and now they know it's coming. Okay. A nice hold there. A ton of utility spent for the side of BTH. Also, quick ad, by the way. Nightmare is the team that picked up the GTI supply mission. They pick up the M82, so watch out for the old 50 cal on the map.
I just think it's funny that Team Liquid and Liquids are fighting at the water's edge. Right? That's just brilliant. I just want to make, I really have to hold myself back not to just keep rolling with the puns here, but I mean, this is beautiful. I couldn't have asked for anything better than this. But it's all going to come down to whether or not either of these two teams are going to look to commit to any kind of an engagement here, because currently it's pretty much the same thing that we have between SSG and BTH, right? Just a serious case of a standoff, and now it is going to be Killzone that is going to be trying his luck yet again. He's going to be moving forward. Ooh, this could be the play. The sun is in. One hit just flying across the way quickly to get out of harm's way. But again, finding quite a bit of damage into BTH, but he's not done. Right, the door is closed. Gives him a quick second to reset. But unfortunately, misses out the angle. The shots are in. One down, one more to go. And here we have it. Come on.
One player left for BTH, and there's no chance. Very well done. Too easy, actually getting most of that damage down just through the front side. They were so worried about kills all in the back. A great pinch and a great push. A couple different P words you could use for that engagement, and overall, pincer, push, pierce, whatever you want to say. It was clean from SSG. I mean, it had to be. It was a matter of time. They had the prey quite literally trapped in a room. If they ran or moved anywhere, they were going to get killed. ETH go down first yet again. Now, they did find a decent amount of loot to throw into their safe box from all those reds they found. So still 2.7, but got to be frustrated about going down first again.
Yeah, I think one more P word we can add in is precision, right? A very good tactful play that we saw come through there from SSG, but yep, not much having changed over on this side, right? Nobody really locking in onto anything just yet. Ooh, we do see Meg testing the water as he starts to push a little bit further forward here, but Mendo quick on the reaction. Hartzik, though, just admiring the living goodness out of the engineering that has gone into that metal frame that is hiding behind.
Meg on Sania with a bow. Doesn't get any more iconic than that. Liquid's running double knocks and a shield master. Respect. With that, only one team gone. Everybody else hanging out. We're checking in with a team that does have the M82. Found that 50 cal just a moment ago from the GTI supply mission. There is an airdrop on the southeastern side of the map, over by the water, but Farmer Lucas is going to run some of our missions. Going to take care of the warden here in a little bit and try to get some extra loot.
Doesn't seem like Raven has any kind of a worry in the world, right? Bo's just chilling, having a nice little bit of a stroll through the prison here. Meanwhile, Farmer Lucas is going to be going about his looting business, making sure he can find all that loot that he wants. Oh, there we go, boy. Now just trying to come through with a little bit of a cheeky angle here. We do see another wooden walkabout coming through, but who's going to be the one to get this next play secured? Nightmare, though, DW, with his hand full in that loot jar, just finding red upon red. It's a pretty decent play on their position as well. But let's see what is going to happen here for Team Liquid, as Boy is going to be just trying to find and line up the angles here. SSG moving about, causing quite a bit of noise, but it's not that easy for Boy really to pinpoint their exact position.
And they've already got a team wipe, so 3 extra points here is nice for them. Preparing for the next Matterport round. Let me be very clear. This has been an extremely slow match. I think all hell's about to break loose here in a second. We're running out of daylight. 5.5 minutes on the clock. 30 seconds on the extraction out in the water. I think at this point, our first big fight, looking at that map, I mean, it's got to be, I think it's out here. I think a fight will happen out near the water. I think some teams are going to go for the extraction. Maybe pull levers for the pipe extract, but Meg is thinking, okay, nobody's gone for this yet, so let me go swimming. Let me see what the airdrop has to offer. I haven't seen a soul in a while on the eastern side of the map. Skies is close by, though, and may hear this. Also, oh, no. Fortunately, let's listen into their comms and see what they're talking about.
Spectrals and a tequila.
I don't know.
Same. I don't know is exactly what I'm thinking. We got an extraction, pipe extract 3.5 roughly. Plenty of time to get out if you want to get through the pipes. But yeah, I don't know either. We have that tank that they pulled earlier. Got a couple more reds to boot. Warden takes care of Raven for us, and that's about all she wrote for Tide Prison. This has been, I thought all hell was going to break loose on the set, but it's been calm.
Yeah, it's been very, very calm indeed. Maybe we could see a little bit of a change up nearing the end of this round, as we still have just under 4 minutes left on the clock. And you can see Team Liquid, SSG, all now starting with their push, heading straight up towards the north. Meanwhile, Liquids are going to be focused in on this extraction down on the far southern side. J-Device, Bumpy, they have an opportunity to join Meg up at this particular point in time. Not quite sure if that is what they're going to look to invest in, but in the meantime, Killzone and the rest of SSG, they've spotted out a bit of an opportunity. They can see that there is going to be the players from Team Nadeshot just up ahead of them. And I think this is especially going to be an important play for Nadeshot, right? Because they could really do with a few of those additional points coming through in their way. But now it's going to be Crisp just making sure that they've got all the loot in the back. I mean, especially looking at the fact that they only have 15k in total in profits, they're going to have to find a little bit more.
Yeah, and only Meg gets out, reasonably so. We saw Meg's inventory. Meg had most, if not all, of the loot that Liquids had. They had like 2 weeks on Meg alone from the tank, the CD that they picked up, the rest of the reds, and some golds. So just going to send Meg out to protect their loot value, and then they're going to send the other 2 to get really aggressive here in just a moment. Team Nadeshot finding a couple little extra pieces of loot before they extract, hopefully through pipes. They're going to be thwarted likely by either SSG or this roster right here. Equal plays, Nightmare. Something going. Remember, Nightmare doesn't have a kill to their name yet. Let's listen in.
Gonna use it. I think that's even better if you go no bag.
I can leave out no bag. That's fine.
Yeah.
You guys are maybe getting Nox ult behind you guys.
I'm not in it. Yeah.
I'm in the Nox ult.
I'm in it now.
You watching forward?
I'm out of it now. I'm out of it now.
Okay, I'm still in it. So he's gotta be behind us.
I'm still in it. He might be trying to even chase me.
I'm
in no bag,
in it again. Yeah.
I'm swimming down for no bag right now.
You shot me from spawn room. From the circle room spawn room.
Okay, what do you think, DK? You like the strategy?
I mean, it could work, right? But it is a very tough one. As you can see, well, they were on the money with that Nox ult, that being very, very close to them. Fortunately, we could see that Killzone was positioned just up above of them, but now it is going to be pressure. I like what Equal is doing here, trying to get the angle in. Oh, spots the play. Doesn't get the hit though, but he is going to continue to apply the pressure. The rest of SSG also just waiting up ahead, so this could be potentially a bit of a bait and switch coming through here from Killzone, right? Drawing in the action and then falling back into the numbers that he has with the rest of his squad.
70 seconds on the game clock, only 25 seconds on the extract. If you want to get out of the pipes, you better go now. Time is running out. People want the kills instead. Equal Plays doesn't have a kill to his name in this entire tournament thus far. It's time to get them. This is one of the top slaying teams out here, and have been struggling to find anything on the map today. DW, an angle on Too Easy. Too Easy not going to give it up. Pipe extract is gone. Nobody takes it. Everybody's staying for the fight. Here we go. We've had 2 players extract, and they'll be the only players that will get out of this map. And finally, Crisp finds an angle on Mindo. Mindo down means Team Liquid are deeply in trouble. That's their fragger. Boy and Hotzik gonna have to step up.
Well, that's going to be go time. Ooh, Hotzik getting a quick shot to the temple there. Up comes Slipdog trying to get the sprays, but instead gets down. Now it's going to be up to Boy to see what he can bring through for his squad as he quickly just escapes up into the water. Crisp is going to be moving in, but Puppy is going to be swinging up as well. And this could be even more of a surprise as it comes through. And Puppy makes that one look effortless.
Yeah, really well done in the final 10 seconds. Killzone gets equal, and he gets DW. Are you kidding me? How are we letting them get away with it? I'm not sure he was netted both of those kills. Definitely got one come through as a full, but my goodness. Finally a fight in the final literal 70 seconds. And it was a trading of blows, but honestly, I think Liquids had the most kills in the final 70 seconds. Remember, they sent Meg out via the water extract. They left the other 2 on the map, and they third-partied the Team Nadeshot fight. And so they come in, clean up a couple players at both sides. Team Liquid and Team Nadeshot both in trouble in that engagement because of Liquid. So really well done to find some points finally on an eco round when they desperately needed it.
Yes, sir. But at the end of the day, there can only be one team sitting in this spot right here. It's going to be none other than SSGs. You can see kills all skies and too easy, locking in 1,000 damage collectively. Absolutely amazing work. 5 of those kill points going their way as well. And of course, 1.1 million assets also secured. But there we have it. Taking a look at the overall scoreboard, it is looking pretty spicy over here, Goj.
Yeah, great job from Spacestation Gaming. It looks like they were netted both those kills. So that's a total of 5. They get that team wipe earlier and then those 2. So nice job from them. That's going to put them at the top of the leaderboard in terms of squad points, but not in terms of our leaderboard because of what Team Liquid was able to do with the mana break in the last round. Team Liquid only find 1 in that engagement. And yet again, Nightmare's team going into round 4 have a big old goose egg in the kill point category. That's got to be brutal. You got to turn everything around. It's going to take a lot of resilience. Let's talk about these top 3 Slayers, though, and the top 3 damage dealers. A lot of the same in both categories. Nearly 600 damage from Killzall, as he was in true fragger for this team moving into that BTH fight, and then picking up nearly 2 by himself in terms of another engagement with Nightmare. So great job there. Too easy, though. Picked up 3 assists in those engagements. He was the one that was walking through the front door of the BTH fight, putting down a ton of damage as well. But it's SSG all day, as they were the ones putting up the most damage, most kills, most assists in general, the top team.
Yeah, they've been working really hard here so far today. So let's see how that all continues, as our top asset owners are going to be, of course, the players that have been able to get themselves out. Right, from Lucas, we did see Liquids also sending somebody out here. Megs walking away with a decent amount of those assets. So a pretty good haul coming through. And we know it all matters, especially approaching the next round, which is going to be taking us straight over into Space City. But first things first, though, speaking about space, it is going to be Spacestation Gaming, Killzall, locking in our MVP. 3 kills, a whole lot of everything else going his way. I mean, this is now the 3rd time that we've seen Killzall being the MVP today, right? He's got 3 in a row. Rookie.
Yeah, the only thing that Spacestation Gaming doesn't have to their name right now is a mana break. Everything else has been all Spacestation Gaming all day. The fact that he's got an MVP for every single round, if we go perfect, we're never going to hear the end of it. If he is somehow the MVP in every single round tonight, man, he already got an ego, well-earned ego. That thing is going through the roof and into space, like you said, DK. Folks, we're going to head to a very short break. When we come back, it will be Space City time. It's going to be mana bricks until we're done. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Two members, now the odds are in their favor, 2v1. Everything getting spammed away, and MT getting a little solo. Hang on a second, NL. Look at that, it's an absolute sweat. This. And LG's got him, they're here, lines them up, even through the shot, you're nuts. For the last remaining 3 BOV, they find 2 instant knocks. The Helm's gonna be hopping off that.
Welcome back to the Pro Tips, the show where we break down the defensive strategic moments of the Delta Force eSports circuit. Now, today we are going to be analyzing a high-stakes chess match from week 2 of the Americas Open qualifiers on Space City. Now, the tournament logic was on the line here, and there was a clash between Legit Brazil and MW, formerly known as Not Obvious Talent, or No Obvious Talent rather. And, well, they completely rewrote the script. Now, right, so joining me to break down the meta is our progressed Marino. Welcome to the show.
Meu nome é Iago Marino, eu sou mais conhecido como Marino no Delta, eu faço o entry do time, eu faço o ataque e também faço o IGL, que são as decisões rápidas ali dentro da partida.
Let's take a look at the tape. We are going to be tracking a crucial late round phase where MW has established control over the active mantle brick and is desperately trying to push that final seconds on the decrypting process. So Marino, this sequence is fascinating because of the tournament macro strategy. Legit Brazil was already leading the leaderboard in the raw squad points, but MW had the match point threat. Now, from a shot calling perspective, walk us through the urgency of Legit Brazil's push here. Was it vital for you to take a specific fight rather than bailing to an extraction?
Essa foi uma atitude errada. No momento, a gente não pensou nisso. A gente pensou que iria conseguir fazer as kills e parar essa progressão deles. Mas acabou que deu errado. Foi uma estratégia falha e que a gente conseguiu... Infelizmente, a gente conseguiu aprender isso da pior forma.
All right, so for the next one, let's talk about that vertical transition, right? Pushing down from the high ramps onto a squad that is already actively anchoring the space requires perfect sync. Now, what is the standard utility layering required to make a drop-down swing successful against an established defense?
Essa composição a gente estava com uma Tempest, um The Wolf e uma Luna. A gente gosta muito dessa Tempest, dessa composição. Basicamente é uma composição principal nossa e a gente tem as Smokes, a gente tem a Flecha da Luna e a Tempest com a sua ult ela tem uma facilidade muito grande para avançar no inimigo, para ganhar espaço, para dominar ali a área e também para a gente poder arriscar mais um pouquinho para poder virar o Mandel. Então é uma composição meio que favorita nossa e com as Smokes a gente pode isolar alguma área, fechar alguma porta, com a Flecha da Luna a gente pode spotar o inimigo ou até mesmo segurar eles em alguma posição. Tem a granada também que é muito forte. Basicamente a gente usa essa composição para ganhar espaço e segurar o inimigo.
All right, now let's look at this from the other side for a moment, right? If MW had defended the position differently, what would have been your next option?
Provavelmente a gente teria feito de uma forma mais agressiva ainda. A gente teria rushado diretamente neles e tentar anular eles o mais rápido possível.
Finally then, for all the operators watching at home, if there's one pro tip they should take away from this clip, what would it be?
Uma dica para pessoa que quer evoluir, que quer partir para o próximo nível, para o nível profissional, não hesite, não tenha medo, vá para cima, manda bala que vai dar certo.
All right, so there we have it, a masterclass in tournament awareness, aggressive macro management right from Legit Brazil. Now, the big thing here is you have to know your winning conditions and never let the clock ride out uncontested. Thank you for joining us on the couch here today. And to everyone watching at home, keep grinding those line of sight angles. We'll see you on the next Pro Tips.
We got the mantle bricks. Find and stop them. Mantle bricks decoded. Nice work, operator.
The time to strike is now. Do not let me down, operator.
Decoding has begun. Defend the area.
Is about to take the first. What?
brick of the tournament, and they're going to do it.
What goes around comes around.
I'm not gonna do very much though. When you get barrel stuff, Skydie is getting aggressive.
See what I did there? You ain't seen nothing yet.
Let's knock them off their feet.
There we go. Much damage, and there it is.
Welcome back, Delta Force Rise Series Day 2, Week 2, America's region. It's Groups A versus D, and so far, a little bit slower than maybe we expected. Tide Prison was carefully planned, I could say, for some of our rosters. Not a lot of fighting until the last 70 seconds, but either way you look at it, the top two teams are mostly staying at the top. Team Liquid, the only team with the Mantle Brick, and therefore, as we take a look at our scores, still staying at the top. But as expected, SSG had the most biggest pop-off game, I suppose, in Tide Prison, if you call 5 kills a pop-off, which I certainly do. So therefore, they find themselves clearly in second place with 25 squad points, but no Mantle Brick yet.
Yep, no Mantle Brick just yet, but that all could change moving into this next round. Round number 4, Space City is where it's at. It's going to be Mantle Brick, a Mantle Brick coming in hot. And so there is going to be quite a bit of contention here, especially looking over onto the operator picks here. We are going to be seeing a few of those Tempests now being utilized. But as we saw yesterday, you don't necessarily need a Tempest to get your hands on a Mantle Brick.
You don't have to have a Tempest, but it's certainly nice. Expect most of the teams to run one, especially because nobody ran a Tempest on our Brakkesh map. Means that we've got 3 maps to use 2 Tempest operators per team. So here's a look at the most common comp on Space City. Now, we do play Space City the most, so unsurprisingly, you're going to see Tempest here as one of our top picks, if not the top pick on the board. But Luna and Stinger join her as well, and this is pretty standard. This is the comp most often you will see, mainly because of the obvious things from these operators we know and love, which is 1, the emergency evasion device. That's the ult, if you will, of Tempest, and then of course the smokes and being able to see through smokes with that recon arrow from Luna. So those are the key factors. Of course, there's some other value of Stinger being able to heal teammates, etc., but the main thing is you've got to have smokes for Space City, especially some of these decoding stations, and you've got to have a Tempest to be able to play for steals or play for the brick spawn. So let's take a look at our player spawns on the map. Tier 1 spawns can't be BTH or SSG, but they could be Team Liquid. And if that's the case, maybe Team Liquid get to the brick first. They could close it out right here, folks. I know SSG have been dominating, but Team Liquid are at the top of the leaderboard, and they are technically the only team on match point right now, TK.
Yep. It's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out, and I'm expecting quite a bit of pressure now being placed on the side there of Team Liquid. But yep, it is about go time.
Yeah, it is. Here we go. And look at this, folks. We got another redeemable code for you. 1,000 Delta tickets right now on your screen. Type in the code as fast as you can. There's only 15 people that can redeem it, and it better be you, but you got to type it in fast. As fast as I'm talking. Type it in P6YML9XYW all the way through. Type it in now. It's probably gone. How fast could you type it in? 1,000 Delta tickets for you all just for watching. Got a couple more giveaways to wrap up the show a little bit later. Hopefully you were able to earn your Delta tickets as we move into what could be our last map or the beginning of a very long and slow drawn out end if a couple teams get Mantle Bricks over the course of the couple different maps that we play on Space City. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. And of course, here we go hot into the action as we can see our teams coming through with their tier 1 spawns. That is going to be match point on the board with Team Liquid. But looking at BTH, they are going to try and contest that Western Gate as best they can. Unfortunately for them, Team Nadeshot, they are managing to squeeze on through. We did see Liquids also getting the other T1 spawn there, as they are going to be pushing over employee passage number 2, trying to get their way up in towards that more centralized area. But SSG, they are just full sending it forward.
Full send, full tilt. I like it. SSG Nightmare first to the brick spawn. It's going to pop up right now. It's able to be grabbed, and likely you'll see both SSG and Nightmare go for it, especially once their Tempest ults come off cooldown. Actually, it might look like Killshot's trying to take high ground maybe over the brick, or just grab it outright, thinking that nobody's here right on spawn. For now, Liquid's lying in wait. A little sneaky play maybe. Playing patient. No, not going to peek pipes. I thought they were going to try to peek around, snag Team Liquid on pipes, but They're going to take their sweet time. Quick look at the operator choices, and namely the kits. BTH and SSG both electing to bring in full golds. Both saying, we want to go up right now. We need to play for this brick. We have the ability to do so. SSG completely uncontested on brick spawn. What do? They grab it and they immediately plant it. A little bit surprising to not see more teams at least look at the brick spawn. But hey, SSG got something special right now. Moving quick. Sometimes the pace of play this fast means that nobody can catch up in time. They're too worried about getting killed by somebody lurking in the shadows.
Yeah, I'm especially curious as to what Team Nadeshot is going to be doing, right? They are right south of that ramp, so they have pretty good line of sight heading up, but also pretty good line of sight right here onto the side of Nightmare. As you can hear those shots coming through. Ooh, but that is, of course, going to be a little bit of pressure. Not being applied by players, but instead it is going to be the machine gunner being an absolute menace. And just as they cross over, it's the other machine gunners waiting for them, welcoming them in with open barrels.
I mean, you gotta hand it to the NPC for giving away the position of Nightmare. These guys cannot catch a break. My goodness. They are killless on the day. And DW is the only player alive for the team now. Team Nadeshot being gifted 2 kills on a silver platter. I mean, that's got to be infuriating.
It's rough. It is rough, right? I mean, the unfortunate part is once you're on that zip line, there's not much to do. Right, other than just hope that the bullets don't find you. But as we've seen time and time again, that very rarely happens, that the bullets miss. So unfortunately, it is what it is. So Nightmare left with 1, looking to see if they can piece this difficult puzzle all back together again. Not quite sure what they are going to be able to pull off. Luna pushing through here. They could of course look to be an absolute menace to the rest of the teams. Looking to play a few upsets here and there and maybe everywhere else. But for now, it's pretty much down to if anybody's going to look to contest that mantle break, right? SSG, they got the ball rolling. And as you said before, doesn't seem like anyone is really paying too much attention to it, at least not now.
Yeah, this is very slow from the rest of the teams to respond right now, which... For them, they're trying to play a little bit slower strategically to maybe hold their position, get a lot of intel, then make a move. The problem is you're just running out of daylight. Let's listen in to some of the teams and see what they're thinking.
Bridge.
Did it hit you, you said?
No.
No. Oh, this is good. I mean, these guys should go do something, right?
This Team Nadeshot, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't.
Probably at like 1 minute you start swimming so you can get...
Oh, a little bit of shots fired in the feed. I mean, I get the salt. The fact that Team Nadeshot was playing out here by the water, playing nice and slow, they weren't expecting. There's a lot of salt there. Can only say so much since there was 2 kills on your teammates, and now the question is, now what do you do? A copying of the mana brick code just gives them a little bit of extra cash. It doesn't really do anything for the team, but SSG in complete control of the mana brick. Everybody... I guess just deciding it's okay that Spacestation Gaming is brick. They don't even know who's getting the brick right now. It could be Team Liquid. They don't know. The tournament could be over right now. We got to play for the brick, and that's Team Nadeshot finally making the cross right now with about 60 seconds left on the brick. Smile maybe coming up, but 20 seconds. This is it. The only team that can maybe steal it away is Team Liquid, and they got to pop their ult now. No, they're not even running a Tempest. Team Liquid can't even do anything. That's it. SSG get the freest brick I've seen on Space City in a very long time. A freebie. Everybody else thinking somebody will help us. Surely there's a fight happening. No! You gotta do it yourself. See you later, SSG. Get a free brick.
Wow. Not every day that we see that, indeed, right? And I mean, but of course, this ties in with what Killzall has said on every interview that we've had with him, is you can't sit back and expect the other teams to do something for you. If you want to make it happen, get out, get the job done, right? You got to get your hands dirty sometimes. Speaking about dirty hands, though, look at the plays that we are seeing erupting on the screen. We did see, of course, Team Liquid finding themselves a little bit of pressure there. We do see Bappy now coming through with that mega bow as well. Could find DW down in the drink, and this could spell disaster for Nightmare.
I mean, yeah, they can't get anything going. DW goes down. A brutal elimination there, but finally a fight on our hands. It was Shade of Eyes that was able to find DW and wipe that team, but we got SSG versus Team Liquid, and SSG do fall. Not too worried about it because they got the brick, but they do lose all of that gold gear they brought in. A pretty important key and a piece to their puzzle of clutching up this win and winning the entire match. They needed those golds for the next rounds. Won't be seeing them in gold. Moving into what will be their first match point, as they do fall to Team Liquid. So yes, Team Liquid too slow on the draw, but they do find a couple more kills as Smile is shooting today. My goodness. Team Nadeshot, that's going to be their 5th kill if they can clean that up, by the way.
Well, let's see if that is going to be on the board.
What?
Ooh. That's
Are you
how you
kidding?
zipline.
I mean, with the help of Chris. I mean, Chris hit some shots, but nice shot from Smile to play Overwatch on that and get the shots across the shoulder of Chris to find what looked like a repeat of history with the script flipped of what Team Nadeshot did to that Nightmare roster. That is going to be 6 there for Team Nadeshot. Smile's 3rd.
Yeah, I mean, they're on a roll, right? This is a good way to really increase the overall score that they've got here, trying to get themselves right up on top. But it is still going to be a tall order. As we know, there are 2 teams sitting with 25 points on the board. Team Liquid, of course, could quite comfortably increase that overall position and regain control of the top of the plays. Oh, but the angles, though, coming through onto BTH.
Yeah, I mean, BTH smartly is popping Tibisol to try to get some info, yes, and also hopefully get one knock. They don't get the knock, but they do get the info. So well within safety, be able to self-res. Toots back on his feet. And a true 3v3 with still positional advantage here for BTH. They still got the stairs to play with. This is a fight that's going to be difficult for Team Liquid to win unless they get an early knock. Team Nadeshot leapfrogging this leaderboard with the near 6 kills that they have right now. Team Liquid going to approach the stairs, smoke it, and force BTH to make another mistake. Didn't hear the footsteps. Mindo finds the perfect flank, and now BTH is on the run. I said they weren't going to get it and get the win unless they got the early player advantage, and that's exactly what they get. They find an angle, and Kali is confused. Where do they go? They're not downstairs. They're up here. Gets no. Doesn't get the trade. That's a full wipe. Nobody even falls.
Yeah, that was a strong trace coming through, though. Almost doing enough to get that hit and get himself out of harm's way. But hey, yo, it didn't really work out. Up comes Meg again. Bow in hand, looking to see if there is any potential to get the team back together again. And it might actually be doable at this point, right? Team Nadeshot not going to be applying too much pressure there. Instead, they are going to be taking down some birds. As you can see, those cameras just flying overhead. Smile and the rest of Team Nadeshot here, trying to see if they could maybe go in for a few easy trades. But again, for Team Nadeshot, they're going to have to crank out quad points now to just get themselves set up, right? They will still, of course, need to get their hands on a metal break, but sitting with a decent 8-point lead ahead of Liquids is going to ensure that they are feeling very confident up in 3rd.
Yeah, I mean, all things considered, if you just delete the fact that there was a mantle brick on this map, because it really didn't even feel like there was, this is actually a really good round for Team Nadeshot. As much as they were catching some flack in the comms from DW and Nightmare, which, you know, fair enough. It was, you know, a wild play to play out into the water and catch you unaware and hold the bodies. But at the same time, looking for kills, Team Nadeshot want to start bumping up this leaderboard. It is a very unique format in a couple different ways. Not only, of course, the double mana break format, which is very fun and unique in its own right, but it's group stages. Every place matters. So squad points desperately matter. Team Nadeshot hadn't found too many kills either. This is a really big map for them to start closing the gap in squad points. They play for the brick in the next round. Could be actually in a pretty good position, but again, I'm giving a lot of hypotheticals at this point because we don't know. Let's listen in.
You want to fight from down there or up top?
No, I'm just gonna make noise here.
Okay. Right, I'm gonna go top side.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I hear him coming up ramp.
He's there.
Yeah,
up there.
You just make him waste bullets. It's good.
I'm going far side in the building.
Yeah, I'm buying time.
All right. Got some nice intel. We're trying to trade. some information to try to get Team Nadeshot on their back foot. They did hear the M82. They heard the 50 cal, and there was a shot that missed. Only 2 shots left, but maybe they don't need it. Smile just gets up close and personal, but does get traded out. Gonna be a 2v2 engagement. Smile down, and Team Liquid lose their 1. It's already been to yellow, so they're full wiped. Won't be getting that player back up out of the lobby. Hodsik inside. Mindo on the other side. Slep trying to land some cheeky util, and I think that may land. Get Hodsik backed off at half health, and he was expecting it. What a bait, what a play. Talk all the trash you want, but they got the gunny. Slep finds another, and it's Mindo as a solo.
I mean, that was a really, really good trade coming up right there. Now it's all down to Mindo to see, can he survive the push and the play? As, well, Team Liquid, they are sitting quite comfortable with regards to the overall scores that they have here, right? But as we know, the moment a player drops, so does that overall score, and it's going to be
no.
down to Slip. Mendo, come on, get something done here.
Chris is literally 1 HP in a dream. He's going to get cleaned up by the Allure Rocket. Megalith from distance took down the other half of Team Nadeshot. What a find up the ramp and the cleanup. Mendo got enough damage to say, take this. A rocket to the face. And now it is Mendo versus Liquids. Team Liquid versus 2 members of Liquids. Mendo gonna have to clutch up a 1v2. Let's see it.
Yep, this could be some easy claps coming through here from Liquids. Meg, again, absolutely devastated with the bow here so far today. Absolutely bringing in quite a bit of that menacing angles. Not quite sure what the Meg is currently doing there with Hodsik. Maybe just having a bit of a chat, asking me how he's feeling about how the games are going today. But now it's all down to Mendo to see if he can wrap this one up. Trying to play a lot more of a strategic angle. We do have just under 5 minutes left on the clock, so there is still a lot that can happen over here. But let's see what Mendo has in store for us.
There's a couple things. I mean, this fight actually right here with 4.5 minutes on the clock matters quite a bit. I mean, you're able to pick up your teammate if you win it and loot up, stack your safe box. There's an M82 on the ground with a couple bullets. We are running out of time to actually extract unless you use test workshop, which is still open. So there's a lot on the line. This fight matters a lot besides just the 2 kill point possible for Mendo and 1 for Liquids. A lot of loot on the ground that they would like to get for free. But a player to get through first or 2. Ooh. Oh my goodness, Mendo with a snap across on a crazy angle. A pixel needed. Mendo gets the other one half in a power position now in a 1v2. Gonna try to get the cleanup. It actually almost sells. Just trying to secure that kill. A lot of damage from Poppy means that Mendo's gonna have to heal up, back off. They're not gonna get the res on Meg, but baiting Meg out because that kill matters could be the difference. Poppy back to full health. Let's see who gets the win. Nice pre-fire. Unfortunately, a hair too high. This time, not perfect aim, but close enough that Poppy wants to get really aggressive over the top. Mendo 1v2. See ya later. Gets the res and gets the loot.
It's full gold, dude.
Yep. Triple A, didn't he?
Well, not a lot to be said, right? I mean, you've just been taken down. You can only do so much, but you got to give it up to Meg and the rest of the team there. They really, really tried to get this final push up on towards Mendo. But Mendo is just made of something else. And, of course, a little bit of that gold, right? So it does seem to be a really good play. But now, Team Liquid, they have a little bit of time left on the clock. They can still look to get themselves absolutely crammed up and maybe even run all the way down to the test workshop.
Yeah, I could get out via test workshop. I think what, Liquid's there with the quick listen and was saying was like, man, wasn't expecting the full golds that Team Liquid had. There was only a couple teams that could maybe afford it, but Mendo was in gold, so that helped him in that engagement quite a bit. But yeah, I would try to find whatever loot you can and then get a move on. Here's a quick look back on the replay of the engagement over here. Smile was able to just get up close and personal. Remember, Smile was the one with the M82, so once he got close, actually was winning engagement after engagement. Hodsik found the angle on the backside. Team Nadeshot was in a great position. Look at this. Slept was able to cut another one down, baited out Hodsik, and wins the gunfight. And then, unfortunately, they get cut down by Megalith. So then, Liquids push up here to play against Mindo, and Mindo just outplays them around the barricades. A little bit of help, of course, from the gold armor. We'll give him a little bit of credit there, but now it's the looting simulator, and hopefully somebody gets out. Ideally with that M82. I think it's still got 2 shots in it.
Well, we'll find out soon whether or not Team Liquid actually managed to find it. It is just here. Let's see if they can get that one bagged up and snagged away. Well, we do see the SVD over there. M7 in the bag. Anything else that they can find? Already, as we can see, the teammate has gone through that. So, ooh. All right. Maybe it is going to get moved on out of here, but Mendo is going to be pushing all the way to that far southern edge. Not quite sure if he is going to be able to make it in time. He might. But yeah, we were curious as to where the M82 went, and we found it.
Yeah, great job from Mendo to have the awareness to loot up and then also get out. I mean, this is rudimentary at some level, but it is worth mentioning. Like, when you get so into the thick of some of these fights, having the wherewithal to come out of the fight and immediately think, what do I need to grab and how fast do I need to grab it to get out? And great job from Mendo there. It's going to have the M82, going to have the Barrett for those that call it colloquially as the Barrett, the 50 cal. It's like a truck. Only 2 shots for it, but those 2 shots could be the difference of Team Liquid winning the next match and therefore winning the next round and therefore winning the match. Is Team Liquid and SSG 2 teams at the top? And DK, those 2 teams have been at the top since the very beginning of this competition. From map 1 all the way down map 4.
Yes, sir. And of course, Hardsick now finds himself in paradise, right? There's nobody else on this map. Just Hardsick and, well, the scavs that are still remaining somewhere. We've seen some interesting plays come through across the maps that we've worked our way in, but you got to give it up to Team Liquid walking out with that final finish. They are going to be feeling quite happy about this, but of course, not to take away from that the decode that we see SSG pulling off, right? So this could be the start of something very, very exciting, because that means once we head into our second space city of the day, that is going to be the match point for 2 teams.
That's right, 2 teams on match point, and the kind of the undersung heroes here, if you will. Spacestation Gaming definitely get best team. They got the brick, but not a lot of stats to go around. Team Nadeshot actually may have picked up the most kills. Mendo with those last 2 maybe have took that stat away from them, but I think Team Nadeshot picked up 6 on that round, so they actually had a really good rep, aside from the fact that everybody on the map could be criticized for not even playing for the mana brick. SSG get a free one, and if you give Spacestation, they take it a mile. Oh my goodness, wait a minute. I miscalculated. I apologize. Yes, Team Nadeshot had 6 kills. Team Liquid had 10. That's right, they got 2 full team wipes, and then the extra kills at the end. Wow, what a turn for Team Liquid. That will shoot them directly to the top of the leaderboard, even taking down Spacestation Gaming, because they're both tied for mana bricks. Mendo picks up 5 as an individual.
Yeah, Mendo is cooking it up. Definitely contributing quite a bit to the overall carnage that Team Liquid was able to secure in this previous round. But, of course, no surprise to see Mendo sitting at the top there as well, alongside Smile. Well, essentially bringing in nearly 2k damage just between the 2 of them. So a really strong play. Of course, bringing in Boy into the mix as well does put Team Liquid on 1.5k damage. So a very, very strong play indeed here. But as we look at it, of course, the assists are going to be pretty consistent as well, right? Crisp also stepping up then for Team Nadeshot there. So things are looking pretty good across the board. And these players, though, they've been cooking it out here. As we know, there's going to be still a lot up for grabs, and we have still potentially 1 round to go. But Mendo, Hardsick, keeping the pressure up here, bringing in those assets and making sure the team at least has decent economy moving into our second space city.
Yeah, 2.8 mil from Mendo as the only player to extract. Great job from him to pick up 5 kills, plenty of assets, and an M82 with a couple shots for next round. 1k damage, 3 assists. What can this man... What can he not do at this point? Honestly, Mendo, Team Liquid, looking like they are in final form. They've got it all figured out finally, and they're going to top our leaderboard here shortly against SSG. We got 2 teams at the top, and it's the 2 teams that have been at the top since the very beginning of today. Folks, as you see down below, make sure you drop a follow on all major socials here with Delta Force and their esports channels. They've got every single social media you could possibly think about, and you're watching on most of them. We're going to take a very short break here in the booth. When we come back, it will be round 5. 2 teams can close it out here. Space City we go again.
Two members, now the odds are in their favor 2v1. Everything getting spammed away, and MT getting a little. So hang on a second, NL. Look at that. It's an absolute sweat. This. And LG's gotta know that they're here. Lines them up, even through the shot. You're nuts. For the last remaining 3 BOV, they find 2 instant knocks. The Helm's gonna be hopping off that.
Got the mantle bricks. Find it. Stop them. Mantle bricks decoded. Nice work, operator.
The time to strike is now. Do not let me down, operator.
Decoding has begun. Defend the area.
Is about to take the first hit to brick up the tournament. And they're going to do it.
What goes around comes around.
Oh, I'm not gonna do very much though. You get barrel stuff. Skydie is getting aggressive.
See what I did there? You ain't seen nothing yet.
Let's knock them off their feet.
There we go. Much damage, and there it is.
Welcome back, Delta Force Rise Series, Day 2, Week 2. We are moving on to Game 5 here with Groups A and D in the Americas region. We've had 2 teams at the top since the beginning of today, and everybody else is falling behind. Team Nadeshot had a nice little comeback there with a sizable amount of kills, but Team Liquid find 10 kills. Space Station Gaming get the brick. Let's take a look at the overall squad points, though. It is Team Liquid at the top with a Herculean effort, picking up 3 full team wipes in terms of kills +1. Finds them at 32 squad points. But SSG got the brick, so they join them at the top. Technically tied for first. The tiebreaker going to Team Liquid, of course.
Yeah, I mean, this has definitely been pretty evident that Team Liquid has been just cranking out some juice here today. 32 points on the board, but it still leaves quite a bit of an opening for the rest of the teams now to try and step it up. But I'm super amped to see what is going to be happening coming into round number 5. 2 squads that have been working really hard here today, sitting with match points coming on through. Again, operator picks can swing any which way. We could see even more Tempest now being played as the teams now know that, well, we've got round 5, round 6, right? The last 2 rounds in which you could really utilize those Tempests. So curious to see if any of those are going to be featured moving into this round. We did see quite a few of those Ludas also being played in the previous run. Raptor being pretty popular across the board as well. So yeah, quite a diverse selection when it comes to these operators.
Yeah, diverse selection. One thing I quickly saw on the operator screen was that Really, it's BTH, I believe, and then also SSG, Space Station Gaming, that both still have an Alluru and a Tempest available. There was a lot of some teams that didn't have an Alluru left, and then others that, you know, had already used a Tempest. But SSG has both available. BTH has both available. I would expect both of those teams to be running both those operators this time. Alluru finds so much value with those incendiaries. Taking a look at the tier 1 spawns, though, you can see SSG can pull one. Team Liquid can pull one. So our two teams on match point could both technically get a tier 1 spawn moving into their match point game. So we could end right here, folks. Game 5 could be the last one, but there's a chance somebody else, Team Nadeshot, for instance, could get this brick and push us to at least game 6. Let's tune in and find out, DK.
Yes, so here we go, getting ready to see exactly what everybody has in store for us. And of course, trying to see just who is going to look to full on commit to this run, right? Who's going to be going for the golds? Who is going to be looking to double down when it comes to the aggression? But first things first, we need to see who has those tier 1 spawns. And I think we are going to be in for quite a bit of a surprise there, of course, right? You want to try and get a T1 spawn, especially up into Space City. And looking at it, it seems like it is Team Liquid taking that mad dash over on towards the Western Bridge, with Space Station Gaming being the team on the opposite side, also with a T1 spawn.
That arrow was so clean. Look at 2/3 of Team Liquid went to 1 HP, and they got him. Westgate, Mindo goes down. Can he crawl through the smoke? No. The first kill from Nightmare in this entire match, in 4 and a little bit games, is on the back of Team Liquid putting Mindo, the top individual slayer on the map, down into the dirt on yellow timer. What a turn of events. The team at the bottom able to take down the team at the top and put them on their heels. And now, what does this do? It opens up a team like Space Station Gaming to go win this event, with Team Liquid not breathing down their necks with a full 3 roster.
It's funny you say that, because looking at SSG's position on the map, it does seem like they are going to be trying to push straight up onto that first Mandelbrake steal. And looking at the loadouts, everybody went for Tempest. It is a full-on commitment across the board. Tempest and Lunas, that is going to be the main pick. We do see a pretty strong presence of Stingers coming in here as well, so I like this loadout. Teams are, they are here, they mean business, they know what is up for grabs, right? SSG, though, are going to be finding that first pickup.
Yeah, not running the Alluru like I expected. That is the meta comp, so it's not like surprising to not see the Alluru, but when you still have Luna, you still have Stinger, you still have Tempest, makes sense that you're going to want to run the meta comp and just rock and roll and win this game right here, right now. Space Station Gaming, because again, Team Liquid got stopped at the line at Westgate. It's always a risk when you get that tier 1 spawn. Means that SSG get the brick and they start the brick for free again. This is oddly reminiscent to what happened literally last round. This time, Team Nadeshot are here. This time, they want to contest. And this time, they get punished for it. Too easy shoots nukes on the map. You peek for 1 wrong millisecond and you can go down, especially with Skies on the backup. Team Nadeshot down to a duo.
Well, let's see. Can they maybe bounce back from this? Team Nadeshot, again, right in such a great position here with regards to points. But can they now continue to find a little bit of something? Unfortunately, though, for Slept, he is going to be just instantly knocked out by Meg, coming through with a bow.
Not
a
again.
Big old surprise coming in here, and Meg now just looking to double down and be the menace we know him to be.
Surprise, surprise. Megalith, sneaky, sneaky. That's the second time Team Nadeshot has all their plans foiled by an errant arrow. Team Liquid have gone back for their boy. They actually hear that Nightmare and BTH are engaging, so this is the perfect opportunity to get their res. I don't think Nightmare was able to come over and loot him either, so Team Liquid could get back up to the full team of 3 because Nightmare are on the aggression against BTH. They get 1 knock. They aren't able to get the cleanup. And BTH feeling a lot of pressure, but they're actually causing a bit of stress the other way. Equal Plays decides to pop that Tempest ult. Gets knocked, but goes back to self. And in the meantime, Farmer Lucas finds a nice angle to put BTH down to a duo.
Let's see how they're going to be able to bounce back. So many points of aggression being played out already, right? Team Nadeshot down to that solo. BTH about to get pushed here from the Nightmare side. DW looking for a little bit of justice here as he's just waiting quite patiently on the staircase. Finds the angle too. Oh, gets absolutely obliterated, and the fighting continues as Car comes through with a little bit of that retaliation. But this is where DW and the rest of Nightmare really needs to double down on the aggression. This could be their opportunity to close it out. BTH, though, they need to try and survive and fight through this beautiful place from Car. All the hits now landing, and one player standing between them, and 3 kills going their way.
That was a really great angle from Ka, and maybe an overpeak there from Nightmare. Able to find the right angle to put Nightmare down to a solo. It's equal plays on the other side. One of the top players in the game who had a fantastic last couple matches. Today has just not been their day. And now down to a solo. He's got to figure out what he can do. But he play for a res on DW? Unlikely. So he backs way off and hopes and prays that Team Liquid are going to play for this fight and come help him out in the meantime. And that's exactly what's going on. So he backs way off, gonna let the chaos ensue, and then equal plays will come in and hopefully clean up the rest of the mess. Watch out for Nightmare still while BTH and Team Liquid go for a fight. But of course, we gotta pay attention to the Mantle Brick, folks. There's a lot of fights happening all over the place, but the one fight that happens the most or matters the most is on the Mantle Brick. And amidst the chaos, I'm stumbling over my words because there's fights left, right, and center, but Team Liquid wipe BTH, and equal plays can't even get to the party in time. I know all this is cool. I know we love action. Back to the Mantle Brick. 40 seconds or this match is over. Spacestation Gaming are about to close out this match right here, right now, because the only team contesting the brick is Liquids, and they're getting cut down. This is a free win.
I mean, insane plays. Who would have thought that today would turn out the way it has turned out so far? I mean, Liquid's trying frantically to contest this, but with J-Device being the only one left on his feet, I don't see any hope available for him, as Meg, of course, gets cleaned up too easy. Staying true to his name, making it look super easy out here. And I mean, this is just another day similar to yesterday.
Look at the reaction from Skies, man. We want to stick to some of the fighting, but SSG have just won this match. SSG are perfect through the group stages as Team Liquid style on the last remaining members of Nightmare, who had a really frustrating day. It's all right, gentlemen. There's 4 weeks of play. Certainly time to bounce back. But for SSG, they have 30 points now on our group stage leaderboard, picking up first place in both bricks is 10 total points. Let's listen in.
I'm staying in purple. Bug it.
Have a combat sim easy, please.
No, I don't.
No, I need it.
Fucking hell. That shit's mine.
No. Killzone, do you have a combat sim?
No, I don't. I'm ahead.
Yeah, I think we missed the immediate celebration and got the tail end of just the excitement, the laughter, the loot evaluation, just trying to min-max their points. And they also want some more kills. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, might as well go for it, right? I mean, what did they have to lose at this point? As we do see Too Easy spotting out J Divides. I mean, for Liquids, this could be a good play here, trying to bring in a little bit of something. But also, though, I want to point out that BTH, they got their first points on the board today.
Yeah, they did. They got likely 5th. Down goes Liquids. It's actually going to be pretty close. We'll talk more about those group stage points here in a little while as SSG just do whatever they want on the map. It is Team Liquid and SSG, the last 2 teams on the map, and it has been Team Liquid and SSG only today. And we finally find our way to what could be a true 3v3 here in just a little while. Here comes the action. Too Easy, feeling the pressure, calling his teammates back. Here's the fight. This fight matters for naught, besides technically $150 swing between these 2 teams, as nothing else will change on our leaderboard.
I mean, but again, looking at Team Liquid, right, they could actually still do quite a bit here, right? They are still playing for squad points. Every single point that you get here does count towards the overall squad points that they have. And should they find themselves
Trade.
In a situation where they need the points, it could benefit them quite a bit. But SSG, though, absolutely relentless in the plays. Boy, oh, managing to tank quite a few.
Killzone's going to come in and clean up house. Sets 2 down. Mendo's way off by himself somewhere else. He was maybe either playing for the extract or was getting some intel across the map, but that was hilarious. That was both players, by the way, running out of ammo amidst that fight, and then getting the disarm off was hilarious. So SSG win the engagement yet again. Another $100 in real cash going to Spacestation Gaming. But can Mendo 1v2? No, sorry, 1v3 this time. He's already shown us a 1v2. Let's get a little showcase match here for Mr. Mendo. Show us what you got, my friend.
Can Mendo do it? He's just there. I mean, he's so close. He runs out of ammo on his secondary here. Let's see if he can maybe bring something through. Jump shots. No. SSG, though.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's $150 to SSG. That's some well-deserved body shots. They crushed this lobby in the last 2 rounds. Nobody's playing for the brick. It is what it is. You cannot give a team like Spacestation Gaming 2 free bricks and not expect to lose. I mean, can I tip my hat at least to Liquids and Jay Devise and the crew for actually playing for the brick? Golly. Crazy domination from Spacestation Gaming yet again. They will be at the top of our group stage leaderboard by a just gigantic margin. Nobody even close. We knew this was one of the top teams coming into the Delta Force Rise series, and they continue to prove they just know how to win. Found a lot of kills today, Mr. DK. They found more mana bricks than their opponents, and that's all it takes.
Yeah, I mean, that's what matters at the end of the day, right? Those lovely orange dots next to the team. That is the most important thing for them to play here. The points definitely being something to try and rely on with regards to those kills. The more aggressive you can get, the more it works out, and it helps increase the overall amount of squad points that you have. But yeah, Spacestation Gaming just absolutely dominating here today. But one thing that I want to see, though, as great as this win is for SSG, is the other teams maybe putting a little bit more focus on those mantle breaks, because, you know, those are the big deciders.
I have my emote bound now, so...
Wait for me. Yeah, waiting. Yo, you want to pretend fight?
I have
like
6.3.
Hey, go here. Let's swing each other.
I'm at 2.5.
Boom.
I'm at 6.3, bro. The boss development, I repped that shit. There's a free body right here, bro.
Ah, sweet.
Oh, full gold, bro. Come hit a lick. That's a 1.1 mil M7. Oh, the other body.
Nah,
the other body.
Get it.
He ain't, bro. Easy hit a lick on a M7?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, they're just having a dang good time. These boys are playing pubs. I mean, they're just having a good time. Too easy to talk about. He's got his emote ready this time. It's bound. He's got it on the keybind this time. So they'll be able to 07 salute on the way out. Ladies and gentlemen, Space Station Gaming. Perfect. A salute to showcase to the world that they are here to win. They came here to play, and they're not playing around today. May call it a freebie, but it's still a win, folks. Space Station Gaming, big smile on his face, kills all the beast. Top of the leaderboards yet again.
Yeah, I think the crazy thing to consider here is, yes, there wasn't a lot of contention coming through with regards to the decoys that we've seen today, but Space Station has been super active outside of that, right? Getting the eliminations, getting the points in. We did see Killzone, of course, all the way back on Zero Dan being an absolute menace with the full squad, full team wipeout that he brought in as well. So There's a lot that these players have to bring it to the table here, but of course, at the end of the day, Spacestation Gaming is going to be the best team for the round. Again, 13 million in assets. They get the decode. They get 1,700 damage, 8 shy of hitting 1,800. And of course, 7 kills to go along with that. Absolutely glorious run for them.
I mean, 7 kills on that last map really just shows how dominant this roster has been. They get the brick and they go wipe everybody on the map. 13 mil in assets is ridiculous. They're able to loot all the bodies and get a lick, as they were talking about. So great job from them. Team Liquid still pick up 5 kills, even though they got... Remember, I think this map goes differently. Team Liquid play for that brick. They would have played very different map if Mindo hadn't get cut down immediately by Nightmare at Westgate. So because they did that, they had to stick in that fight. They were kind of in this weird quagmire trying to get their teammate up and playing for kills. And in the meantime, SSG just get the brick. Kills all top of the kill leader category. Again, too easy right behind him as they pick up their 7 for that roster. And decent spread here of damage across the board between those two gentlemen at nearly identical numbers, with DW not too terribly far behind from Nightmare, which are doing quite a bit of damage for Nightmare onto, yes, both Mindo with that shock arrow from way down yonder, and then also the fight against BTH. But Skies pick up 4 assists. Topping that chart, it is SSG all day.
Yes, sir. They're going to the skies. The skies is the limit when it comes to top assists. So well done to them there. Of course, Gilzol, the top asset owner here, 6.7 mil. You can see Too Easy and Skies right there, hard on his trail. But of course, that's how they got up to that 13 mil. So a really good hustle here from them. And of course, no surprise, right? Killzol with this is his 4th MVP for the day.
Yep.
Wow. Absolute. It's a steal. Full on
At least there's something to still aspire to, right? They're nearly perfect, not quite. Killzol was MVP for 4 out of our 5 rounds. You take Mindo out of the picture, it would have been 5 for 5. But Mindo went absolutely nuclear in that last round in terms of kills. So listen, man, Space Station Gaming, somebody's got to stop them, and it's not going to be a team in that A and D group, at least not this time. Folks, if you didn't know, we do have one final giveaway for you. It's on your screen right now. This is your chance to win 3,000 Delta tickets. Go get your hands on them. If you're watching on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, you can simply type !giveaway in the chat in order to enter. And if you're watching over there on X, just repost the live stream to enter, and we'll announce the winners in the chat on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. And if you're watching on X, we'll announce the winner in the comments under the live stream. Good luck out there. 3,000 Delta tickets is a ton. Hopefully, you are one of our lucky winners. We'll keep doing this throughout the course of the Delta Force Rise series. Glad we're able to reward you just for sticking around till the end. But speaking of rewards, we got to bring in our winner. It's at this point rudimentary. It's at this point expected. Let's bring back the beast. Killzol, what's going on, my friend? How does it feel? You're perfect throughout the course of 3 matches. 30 points. Nobody's even close. You expect this?
Yeah. And what can I say? Can we do 3 more? Can it go to 60? I said it first day. It could go to 60. You never know.
You never know. A quick follow-up, Killzol. What goes through Space Station Gaming's heads as you're sitting there getting free brick after free brick? I mean, tip the hat to Liquids. At least they fought you on the second one. But what's going through y'all's minds? What are the comms like when it's a free brick on Space City?
It's kind of all of us looking in 360 degrees and seeing absolutely no one, and giving the comms, be like, oh yeah, no one's here. So this is, we could just chillax. Like, we could just hang out, have a nice little conversation, and then fight after the brick.
Well, I mean, it seems like there's quite a bit of conversation happening over on your end, but so to take things in a slightly different direction, I actually asked on YouTube if I could ask you a question, what would chat want me to ask you, right? And so the question from chat is if there's any player that is close to your level in this tournament, right, that you are wary of, who is that?
It's Evil Genius's Loco. That guy is crazy. He is really good.
Loco is very talented. I like that call out. An honest answer there. I want to give you a moment. Killzall, you get a lot of time in the spotlight, not only in these interviews, but also just in your stats. I mean, you are a stat patter, my friend. I mean, you're topping every chart across the board. Hype up your teammates for me. Why is your team so much better than everybody else? I know that you guys play the win condition, no question about it, but why are Skies and Too Easy the guys for the roster?
Because they never stop getting better. They improve every single time we play. If we make a mistake, the mistake gets fixed instantly, and we never make the mistake again, hopefully. And I love how they adapt to in these fights. Like anything can happen, and how they adapt is just insane. They know what to do. We're cool, we're calm when we're playing, and I love it from them. They're awesome.
Well, I mean, you said that you are going to try and maybe play for 60, and I think it's going to be a little bit of time until we see you guys step out onto the field yet again. What are you going to do in preparation for this? Are you just going to continue with the same kind of training and pacing that you've been working your way through, or based on how today went, are you going to maybe look to do something different?
I mean, we're just going to scrim every day. We're just going to keep trying to get better. Because there will come a point where we might not win, and we gotta get over the hump where we should win every time, and we're just gonna keep scrimming over and over and over until the end of the season where it says SSG at #1.
Hey, man, practice makes perfect. We all know it. And so far, that phrase is proven correct, my friend. Perfect on the group stages thus far. Really excited to see more from you guys a little bit later. Final thoughts from you. The floor is yours. Anything you want to say to Space Station, your friends, your enemies, anybody out there? What do you got to say?
Well, I appreciate all the fans from Space Station showing up. I appreciate all the fans of former Team Inc. showing up. They've been there for a while. Let's get a go Space Station. And I did learn something today. Liquid does freeze in space.
That's crazy. Liquid freezes in space. That's Killzall. Happy birthday, by the way. Let's all wish Killzall a big happy birthday. Nice win here on main stage, my friend. Go celebrate with your team and anybody else you would like to. Very well done.
Thank you all. Have a good one, guys.
Cheers. Killzall turning the ripe old age of 24. That's what chat said. I don't know if that's actually the case, but congratulations to him for a win. And some great highlights here of Killzall just saying, yeah, not today for anybody but us. Team Liquid DK went up early in this match, and then it was SSG until the cows came home, and they even wiped their main competition in the final fight. And a pretty odd fight, too, running out of ammo over the top, but Killzall able to come around the flank. They just had player advantage with Mindo a little bit split. SSG winning everything.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much left to say about what Space Station has been doing so far here today. But of course, the match MVP, the GOAT of the day, no surprise, it is Killzall. 13 kills, almost hitting 2,800 damage, 20 million in assets, and of course the 7 assists coming through. I mean, say what you will, but Space Station Gaming, they are working, and they are working hard out on these maps. They are just bringing in the points round after round, and I mean, they are in essence setting the standard for the rest of the teams, right? If they want to beat Space Station, they gotta play like Space Station.
Yeah, you gotta rep. Can I just give a huge congratulations to the Killzall again? This is a team effort. He is the guy that's stat padding. He's also their IGL for the most part. He is their in-game leader, making all the calls for this roster. To be able to put up stats like this as the IGL, yes, in Delta Force is a little bit easier than some other titles, but it's still unbelievably impressive. And the calls that he's making seemingly are working. A team effort, Space Station Gaming, the best team here, and it's really not all that close. Now, on our leaderboard, Team Liquid had a great showing, and frankly, they needed it. Remember, Team Liquid in our group stage rankings were down in about 6th or 7th place or so. They were a little bit far down on the leaderboard, and this second place here with the Mantle Break is another 7 points for the group stage leaderboard. They had a great showing today, find 25 kills, the most out of any team, even more than SSG, and nearly were able to keep up with the squad points of SSG. The only reason they got surpassed was, yes, that Mantle Break, and then SSG winning the map in the last one and extracting. So Team Liquid, if you're a fan of them, you've got to be 2 thumbs up, ready to go, excited for them. They should jump all the way up to 2nd place in our group stage rankings.
Yeah, and of course, speaking about rankings, it is going to be Killzone and Mendo both tied with 30 points apiece. 30 kills on either side. Absolutely amazing work being done by these gentlemen. But of course, as we know, right, this could still take quite a bit of a change up as we have a long way to go. We are almost at the halfway mark with our matches for group stage. We have one more day to go, and this is where we sit, right? Killzone sitting on almost 8,500 damage.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. He's obviously tied at the top with Mindo in the kills category, ahead of Mindo by 1,300 damage in the damage category, mainly because he plays those route man plays where he can sneak up and get full damage by himself, playing that Nox flank, for instance, or even sometimes with Tempest, able to roll around the corner and get full wipes rather than play with the team. And you see, of course, on this list here, total assists, you don't see Killzone because he's the one finding all the kills. You do find him in 5th, so Skies on his roster has found his way to 3rd. Spacestation Gaming in the assist category just because they've been slaying out like crazy, find themselves 3rd, 4th, and 5th. But it's Hodsik backing up Mindo, finding a crazy amount of assists. Nobody's even close at 26. Really impressive support play there from Hodsik. And then when it comes to assets, this is the list that is probably the most surprising. He just has so many kills and also has extracted so many times with a ton of value. 40.8 mil in assets as an individual is unbelievable. I'm pretty sure, I mean, that's 20 supply points from Killzone by himself. That's more points than some of these teams are getting in like multiple matches in a row as a full roster. I mean, ridiculous stat lines. But DK, walk me through the rest of the matches we'll be seeing in the next couple weeks and tomorrow.
Well, we see a bit of a pattern emerging, as we saw there, right? 1, 3, and 5 going straight over to the side of Spacestation Gaming. That is what got them up to 97 squad points and 30 total match points. Absolute insanity. 6 mana bricks being brought up by them. But of course, this still leaves that gate wide open. The teams a little bit further down, they know the place that you don't want to be is where MW and BTH finds themselves right now. You don't want to be sat in 11th and 12th place, because come the end of match number 12, it's the end of the run for you, right? There's no continuation after this. So I want to see the teams there at the bottom of the leaderboard really crank out some points coming into the next few days of play, because it is going to be of the utmost importance if they want to stay relevant. Wow, I'm struggling today in this competition. That's what they need to do. They need to get aggressive. They need to push the mandel bricks, right? Go for the decos, try and steal them. And if you can't get your hand on any of those, just go for kills.
Yeah, a little bit of both goes a long way, certainly. Really impressive to see Spacestation Gaming, yes, at 30 points. Second place, Team Liquid, like I said, just barely eking out over Team Nadeshot because of their performance today, taking 2nd at 16 total points. That's our group stage rankings, and so I'll be pumped to see after tomorrow where we all land. The rest of the teams have a lot of work to do to catch up to some of these teams at the top, but tomorrow it's going to be B and C. No more Spacestation Gaming, no more Team Nadeshot, Team Liquid. A whole new set of 6 teams that we haven't seen quite as much in this weekend. It'll be the first look at actually that group C that we haven't seen yet this weekend, so it'll be fun to watch some of those teams. LEVIATAN, I believe, rejoining us here on the main stage, so that team's got some shooters as well. Watch out, they're going to be trying to throw some points up and catch up some of the teams at the top. One more quick reminder, folks, take a look at the bottom. Drop a follow on all major socials here with Delta Force, and of course on their esports channels as well. They got a lot of things going on in the Delta Force ecosystem, including the Delta Force Rise series, and we've got all the amazing both Americas and EMEA Delta Force Rise series websites. You can find those in the Twitch panels down below to learn more about schedule, rankings, all that good stuff. Even some individual stats are on that website. It's really cool. Some meta weapon builds and stuff like that. A very cool website you should go check out. Again, if you're on the main Twitch channel, it's down in the panels. But DK, I had a lot of fun with you, my man. This was another odd day, but a fun one as Spacestation Gaming walk away with a free win. What'd you think? Any final thoughts for the broadcast?
The best part is we're not done. We have another day to come, as you said, right? Tomorrow is going to be Group B versus Group C. We got LEVIATAN coming in. We got MW as well as Fluxo showing us what they can bring in and whether or not they're going to be packing some heat. I hope they are. But yeah, a lot to look forward to. So make sure that you don't miss it. And as Gosh said already, right? Subscribe to all the socials so you know exactly when we go live.
That's exactly right. That's DK. I'm Goat. We had a blast here in the booth. We got one more day tomorrow. Tune in the morning for EMEA. Same time, same place here for America's tomorrow. As a reminder, we couldn't do it without you, the viewer. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow.
Two members, now the odds are in their favor. 2v1.